On 3 or after 3?
Now.
Welcome to Role Play Cafe. Beside me up top is Brian. He is going to be running this. He is our Dark Age of Man presenter is the title we're using now. We'll see how that goes. And below him is Del Branham. And next to Del, this is all counterclockwise, is Justin. And I am, of course, the guy talking. There we go. So
there you go.
Welcome. And thank you, Brian, for playtesting. This is our game master. And thank you, Justin, for being another player. Presenter, yes. And thank you, Justin, for joining us and helping us as another character.
Yeah, hit the button. He messed up already. No.
Right.
He'll pay dearly for that faux pas.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, so as per the game guide, I have done very minimal prep. I set up a 3d6 chart with several entries, all numbered 3 through 18. I have not actually rolled on them yet. In addition to that, I have also set up a couple of other random prompts just to kind of try and get a little bit of a feel for what's going on. So if we could, does anybody actually have a D4 handy with them?
Oh, D4, I do.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. D4.
You know, it's a little unordinary. Yeah, go ahead and give me a D4.
A 1.
1. All right. So, and if we could next give me 1d6 roll.
I'll let Del do that.
5.
Thank you. And if I could get one single d6 roll.
Got it?
2.
Okay. And let's see. Let's try. Give me at least 3 3d6 rolls.
Go ahead.
Oh man, that is 13. It's got to be a lucky number.
I got 9.
And I've got 10.
Okay.
13, 9, and 10.
All right, so here we are in Dredgewater on a very cloudy early morning in the spring. We've just come through the early part of the rainy season, and the river dredge has kind of cleared itself out a little bit. The water's looking slightly fresher, you know, the boggy moat around the Palisades is a little bit higher than normal. But of course, with that also brings all the midge flies, mosquitoes, and biting insects that we begin to see in the spring as we live close to a little swampy area. Recently, one of the biggest incidences that has happened is that just before the rite of spring, or we get to the spring equinox, it was discovered in one of the outlying farms, just a little ways away from the marshland area, a little bit higher up on ground, that a ritual had been performed there. There was a little bit of hubbub going around, and there was rumor that a hob was causing aggravation for the landowners. Are any of you familiar with what a hob is? Okay, so a hob in the lore of your region is considered to be a natural sprite or a spirit that is sometimes beneficial to a homeowner, a landowner. They may work in the mill, they may work on the farm, they may braid the horse's mane, they may do various different things around wherever it is they consider to be their residence. Now, if a hob is a little bit agitated or doesn't feel that it's been satisfied, it could get up to a little bit of mischief. And in and amongst the inn and on the common grounds, it's rumored that this hob was not very happy with the Burketts farm, Berkets, the Burketts farm, and that it had caused their grain stores that they had left over from the remnants of, what they came out of winter with, basically, the seeds that they had saved, it caused them to go and mildew. So the heavy rains come in, there was, rumor starts to spread that the hob was responsible for the heavy rain. The hole in the roof of their silo, their little like 2-story stone building where they were storing their grain at to save seeds for planting. But unfortunately now, the entire store has gone to rot.
This is ruinous. I say, I'm in the tavern, and I upturn my draft of ale. Have you heard the rumor, Grant?
I have indeed, but I don't believe in such foolishness. He was incompetent, and he is pawning his troubles off on some fairy tale.
Competence.
The Baron would have his head if.
You never know about the spirits.
Have you ever seen one? I did not know what
There's
one
been
was
times
until I
that-
heard the rumors.
There's been times I've seen things in the deep dark wood, especially at night. I have traveled a bit. The spirits do get restless.
So Wyatt, you've been in Dredgewater for a little while. You've been kind of drifting,
Yeah.
Yep.
Trying to make your way home, where hence that may be. And, you're kind of hearing the conversation in
Yeah, I will. And I can
swirling
say,
around the inn.
yeah, and I can say that Grant and is it Michelle? Is that what it is? Or is Michelle?
Mikhail.
Mikhail. Okay, and
Mikhail.
probably Mikhail. I should just say it wrong anyways, just for my character. But what I'll do is you're kind of well aware of him. I'm a young, kind of not very knowledgeable person that has kind of visited this town, but I try to make myself useful and help with the farms or any kind of like small light work to fix houses or anything like that. And so I'll just kind of come in, slam open the door, be like, Grant, did you hear?
I'll turn
Who's
and look.
this, Grant?
Ah, come boy.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
I'm 24, 6 foot, bowl haircut, brown hair, clean shaven. I wear bad chainmail, kind of beat up and ratty. With the tabard of our barons, I'm kind of a soldier guard for the baron, but I'm a free man.
Yeah. So with Wyatt, he's about 16, 17, fairly young. He has like the fresh, like pubescent stubble starting, but it's mostly looks like peach fuzz, like a mane of like red hair that's just messy right on top. But he has like this ill-fitted leather vest piece with a single shoulder pad. And he wears like almost a small shield that's all notched up and carries a spear, also just as badly notched, up at the front. And I'm running up, and he's like, Did you guys hear about the Birkin's farm?
Okay.
All
I
their-
turn around
All their
looking.
seeds. Yeah, all the seeds. You're not going to believe this. Rotten, right to the core.
Yes, I have heard.
I've got a
I'm
curly
sure.
stock of golden locks that cascade over my shoulders as I lay back. Who is this boy? And I take another draft and set it down.
Wyatt, he tries to make himself a value here in Dredgewater, doing odds and
He
ends.
seems rather eager.
Yeah, well, they're talking about this thing called a hob. I have no idea what that is.
Well, sit down,
we
boy.
should
Let's
go.
discuss it.
All right,
Yeah.
so
Bring him a
go
drink.
chair.
Prepare yourself for a lecture, Wyatt.
The innkeeper comes by at Mikhail's behest and distributes a small trencher of suet and meat and thick rye bread with a flagon to pour from of ale.
Okay.
I tossed him a wooden
Kind of
nickel.
looks over the gathered group at the table, just kind of nods his head as he sees, such a desperate group of people gathered together, although you do kind of share similar characteristics as far as dress. He makes his way back towards the bar. Grant, as you're kind of like looking at him go, you see one of the current actual occupants of the King's Men,
Right.
or the Baron's Men, is kind of makes his way into the inn, and he's by himself. He does have his tabard on. He makes his way to the innkeeper, and they just kind of start discussing a few things. And then he puts his arm around the innkeeper, and they make their way into the back area of the inn.
What do you suppose that's about?
Hopefully to gather more ale, as I say, as I'm wrapping a little twine to cinch up my hair in a ponytail.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna
I
down
get up
the
and
tank.
stretch.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Just gonna down my like cup of ale, like down and be like, well, what I heard is that Wait, what was the talking
Wake up,
about?
boy.
What? What?
The
What's
hob,
going on?
had you all excited.
Right. What the heck's a hob?
I guarantee you,
You've
it
never
can be,
heard of a hob.
regardless of what it's supposed to be, if indeed you believe in it. I believe anything can be handled with the sword. I'll stand, finishing off my L, set it down, and then I'll wander over to the inn, see if I can't peek into the back room. Do I know the gentleman that came in? Do I?
You're familiar with him. He's a minor cat. He's he's a minor gateman.
Okay.
He typically stands guard at the palisade entrance.
Okay.
Often, usually he's on day watch. His name is Matthias.
Matthias. And it is day right now, is it not?
It's early morning.
Ah. Yes, so I'll see if I can peek into the room they walked into, see if they're huddled up or if it's an argument. I might head around the bar and into the back room, depending on what I see.
Shelley, one of the innkeeper's daughters, sees you kind of peeking in on what's going on, and she says, "Well, Mr. Wheelwright, no, you shouldn't be peeking in on the Baron's business."
Yes, I suppose that is right, Shelley, but this is something amiss here that Matthias would be down when he should be at the gate.
Well, now I'm not one to talk, but rumor is there's a bastard about.
A bastard? You
She
mean
kinda
other
looks
than
around the room.
Michael? Or Mikhail?
Well,
Other than Mikhail, you mean?
They both can be right bastards, but no, I mean a family man.
Mm. Ah, and who?
Well, she kind of looks back at the room where they're talking. Whose bastards would you think it'd be?
Look at her, Wyatt. Look, she got an ass on her, don't she?
Mm-hmm.
Shelley the maid.
Mm-hmm.
Take another drink.
Let me, Shelley, I'll slip her a copper. Do you know what they're speaking of?
Well, he's been coming here often.
Ah.
So they think they may know who the bastard is, or at least have tracked him down.
Good. And could you give me a heads up on that?
You know, I couldn't do that.
That's a copper.
I don't get. I know that's a copper, but we are talking about noble blood.
All right, then, girl. I'll give you another copper.
Look at her, Wyatt.
Make a.
He's striking out with the girl.
Yeah.
He's striking out with the girl.
Yeah.
Look,
I think they're bartering. I think
I'll give you
he's trying to bet her.
an average
Okay.
purse difficulty. That's the range that you're in.
Okay. Average purse. So my purse is +3. 17 + 3, 20.
Okay.
Come now, girl. Here's a second
flings-
copper. This is certainly worth the
She
nobles.
pulls the copper off the table, palms it, puts it beneath her skirts, and says, "Well, the guard is supposed to be bringing him here once they find him. His name is Russell."
Russell. Do I know Russell?
No, the name does not sound familiar. That's his true name, his heir's name.
Do you know where I might find this Russell girl?
Only the King's guards know that.
Very well. Thank you for the heads up. This is interesting. I'll kind of peek Ben as I turn to walk back to the table. I'll peek one more time into the back room, see if they look heated. try to make out whether there's a heightened energy about it, as if they know more. And then if not, I will make my way to the table and kick the chair out, have a seat, plop down.
No, their conversation is very cordial. There's a little concern you can kind of see on the innkeeper's face, a cajoling kind of view coming from the gate watch keeper, and there is a little bit of back patting, some consoling, kind of just trying to reassure through his stance, their conversation that they're having.
Okay, so the body language is of support, so to speak. Okay.
Yeah. The Matthias definitely is giving the innkeeper the feeling that we have your back. Don't worry about it.
Good. So I pop down and I lean in. Listen, there might be some drama afoot here involving the innkeeper, but for now,
it looks like drama with his daughter.
Could well be.
I see. She took your coin.
Could well be.
So I was gonna say, so I just kind of come over. Yeah, just come over
He said
beside
he shut his
Mikhail.
trap.
So you're saying that if you continue to pay a woman, she'll eventually sleep with you?
It looks to be so, son.
Wow, Grant, how much did you lose?
A fair
Hush,
amount.
What would you know of it, you young snipe?
Hey,
You
I'm
heard
just
the
listening
jingle
to
in his
but I will
pouch when
tell
he
you-
sat down.
I was just wondering what was going on, and I just saw you just kept on paying out, and Mikhail was telling
She'll
me
empty his
stories about...
pouch by morning.
But I will tell you,
That is the truth.
to answer your question, Wyatt, 2 coppers are not enough.
Okay.
Be it.
It may take more to get a woman into the sack.
Hey.
I
Aside
was
from
gonna
that,
say
what
for-
were you blubbering about, Wyatt? The hob?
I mean, Grant or the Hob? No, I'm just hearing all the tales that
Your
people are
name's
talking
Wyatt.
about in town. No, I'm Wyatt.
Yes,
You're
that's
talking
what
to
I'm saying.
Grant?
No, I'm talking to you, Wyatt. Wake up, boy. And I'd slap you around the jowls, okay?
Okay, I think I should lay off ale for a little bit.
Yeah, lay off the L. But keep
He's
looking
had
to the
too
women.
much. He's had too much.
Don't veer off course.
So time,
Yeah, go ahead.
as just a few moments pass while you guys are having your conversation, eventually Matthias comes out from the back. The innkeeper, just kind of wiping his hands on his apron, gives a cordial farewell, and Matthias departs from the inn and leaves out the front door.
I wonder what that was about.
Wyatt,
You're full of questions, boys.
yes, keep mum for one moment. So I will approach the innkeep, and I will tap into the bar away from him. Away from Shelley, and nod for him to come to this end of the bar.
Okay. He makes his way down there, polishing the top of the table at the front as he goes.
There have been rumors and whispers that you've got some trouble with a man named Russell.
He tries to maintain his cool as he sees that you name someone he obviously knows. And he says, I have no trouble with a man named Russell.
Are you certain of that?
I'm very sure. Everything is okay with the trencher. Ale not getting too warm, I see. Still sitting there at the table.
No, we may need more, but maybe no more for the boy. I don't think he can handle any more.
It is awfully early in the day to get started.
Very.
Think for yourself. And then I slammed the mug down.
And I see Matthias. Was in here early, but did not drink.
He's back to his shift. Back to the door. He just came by for a while.
But he looked like he was. He had good news for you.
That's good news, yeah.
Good. Fine. So I'll turn and walk back to these guys and plop down. They are tight-lipped.
Tight-lipped about what? You're an inquisitive lot, Grant. Just sit back, relax, drink your ale.
Well, we should
Well, I
find
drink
out
it all
about.
again.
I'm not going to drink my day away. We should find out about the hob.
Send the winch over with more. I'm pointing to Shelly. All right.
Yeah.
Bring it over, girl.
You need
Hey,
no more.
Wyatt. Keep a look on her arse. Okay, when she comes over and pours it.
Yeah.
Okay.
More of a bust person than,
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, but the head on this is like that big, you know. So anyway,
Okay.
and I give her a little slap on the way out. Okay.
She makes her way, kind of gives you a faint-hearted slap.
Well, turn the other cheek, girl.
So you can slowly start to hear the beginning of the morning's business outside the door of the inn in Dredgewater. As now we start to get into, late morning.
Yeah.
The sun's starting to come up. You can hear the chickens clucking and the gooses honking, and the sloshing of the mud.
Yes. We should get on our day before you are inebriated there, Mikhail.
So where should we start? Should we find out what's going on here with the hob, or
We could.
just
Start with another gig.
We could, but
no.
But I don't know about you, Wyatt, but a man does not get rich working for nothing. I believe we should.
A man gets rich making others work for him.
Don't worry, Grant. I also know that breaking your back doesn't give you anything either.
Right.
I'm a farmer's,
So-
a farmer's
You
son.
look for trouble under every stone.
It strikes me we should get paid for any work we do looking for this hob or rectifying these conditions.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I don't work for free. Do you, boy?
Well, I've been working for, bread and a
Yes,
roof
he
over my
works for
head for
free.
the last couple of weeks, but you know what? It's about time I was probably starting to see some coin.
Then I think that's what we should do. Are you with us, Mikhail? Are you going to drink your day away here?
Okay, I slam my hands down and belch like uncontrollably, rattling the table a little bit.
Are you Will?
No, just had to clear the pipes.
Oh,
Whew.
Yes.
It's best be on our way.
What did you eat for breakfast? Horse shite?
Hey, come around back of me. You tell me. I'll give you a good whiff of her.
No.
All right.
So I'll kick the door of the inn open and look about the raised platforms that lead through the village over this muddy, swampy high table. I'm sure the table's a little higher, even more muddy and muck now that it's spring.
Yeah. There's definitely water there's definitely water that's coming up in through, and amongst the piers that support all the structures.
Mm-hmm.
The nice thing is that with the beginning of the fresh rains is that the stench and the smell of the bog has kind of,
Dissipated.
settled down considerably. The breeze is light, very scant. You can tell that it's going to warm up to be a pretty nice day. The sky is clearing off pretty rapidly of any clouds.
Good.
I'll be. This
Now,
day is even brightening up this place. I can't wait to be rid of her. Get on the road.
if we have heard the rumors on this, the rot of the grain at the Burkus farm, then the Baron must too have heard of it. I would think the Baron will be ill-tempered about such news. It strikes me that maybe the Baron might be the man to approach about rectifying this issue with the Burkus farm. What say you?
No, Wyatt, you said it destroyed their hops?
Yeah, that's what the rumor is. That's what everybody is
It
saying.
destroyed their
That
hops?
Yeah, well, no, the hops wasn't appeased and had gone to destroy their grain stores and what seeds that they had saved.
This is a
just-
travesty.
Yeah. Again, I have no idea what a hob is. I mean, you were
Okay,
telling
I'm a
me
little bit
drunkenly,
glazed
mind
over
you.
in my eyes
And
or whatever
pride.
like that. Okay, but I'm shielding
Right.
when I'm walking out fully. Let's get up on drier land.
Yeah, but do you think that even the Baron would he give us an audience? Even just to to talk to him?
Well, I am
He'll
a
give
free,
me
I
an
am a
audience.
free
I'll-
man. He
I'll
might.
Weave
He
him a
might
tail.
well. He would not give you, Wyatt, and you may well have to stand outside. Being a free man, it does not hurt to approach the Baron and see if maybe he might be willing to pay us to investigate and rid.
Grant, I'll regale him with a tale. I'm a traveled man. I've seen much.
So you've said many times.
Yes. And you shall witness.
I'll
well,
lean
you
in.
probably won't.
I'll lean
You can wait
in.
outside for us. I'll go. Give him a private audience.
Well traveled in the one room. Yeah.
I'll lean in and see if he smells like alcohol.
Who, me?
Yes.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Yes, Mikhail. I don't believe you will approach the Baron in the state you're in. You stink of alcohol.
Shake that off. Shake it off. A good
I think
brisk
you should.
walk. I'll sweat it out.
Well, I think we'll leave you outside and Wyatt can keep an eye on you. Keep him out of trouble, boy.
Oh, geez.
Whatever. Let's get out of here before the stench rises up again. I know this heat may start begging.
Yes,
I mean-
and we can talk to Matthias at the gate on the way.
Lead on. Lead on.
Sounds useful. Hopefully the stench will not rise either from the ground or from Mikhail.
Yes, I do hope. I do hope not. It's unpleasant.
So you wind your way in and amongst the pathways to make it towards the small elevated keep surrounded by its palisade walls. There are currently, this early in the day, workmen already out, shoring up some of the gaps in the palisade from where the piers have sunk and the wall has sagged slightly on one side. You make your way around towards the western side where the gate is kept. As you're kind of coming up, you see a couple of people out front. They appear to be residents, weavers, putting together new baskets, obviously to try and shore up anything that had been damaged over the winter. And now that they're coming out into spring, there's going to be more stores to try and take in. So they're going to try and expand their storehouse. And as you approach, you can see Matthias there. He's standing there talking to a couple of very young, probably more like kids that are guards. One kind of holding a raggedy bow, wet string, quiver full of arrows with wet fletchings, kind of picking his nose, which Matthias knocks his hand out of the way. As he sees you approach, he kind of thumbs his, belt a little and kind of stands and waits for you to arrive.
Ah, good morning it is, Matthias. Is it not?
Well, we are right. It's been a long time.
It has
How's
been.
the life of a free man?
It's fantastic, but it's not been so long that I didn't just see you when talking to the innkeep. Is everything okay? No
Oh.
bastards are out, maybe?
Well, if you mean these two here, they're bastards for sure.
Ah, yes. There is no doubt.
They both look at him with scorn on their faces.
Is the
I thought he
Baron
was talking about us.
He's talking about the two kids.
right?
I know.
Yes. Well, look at the two bastards I trail behind me, Matthias. Have you seen a poorer looking lot?
They look like older versions of these two.
Yes, that is, and we are doomed in
The
Dredgewater. if this
past
is
and the
best.
future, right, my lads?
Yes.
Yes.
If this is the best we have in Dredgewater, we are indeed doomed.
Yep, soaked to the heels.
Is the Baron taking audience today? Is he in good
This
spirit?
morning, no, he's not taking audience with anyone. Today, unfortunately, there's a lot of work being done. The lector is here, and so they're trying to get some things added to the church, and
Mhm.
there's also money being changed hands, some businesses being done to get some stonework brought in, hopefully to get some footings shown up against these goddamn walls.
Yes. It is
Every
a
year
poor
digging
lot.
these out and putting them back.
Well, then I will ask you. Do you know? You've heard the rumors of the Hob at the Burgess
The
Farm?
Hob! Now come now. Come
Right.
on, maidens' tales and kids' stories.
Yes. That's exactly what I told these two, but these fools seem to think it may be true.
He looks at
Mikhail
both of
here
them.
tells me that he's been in the forest and has seen many a crazy affair.
Now, I'm
He's barely out of the
without
forest.
shot, right?
Oh no, I'm assuming you guys are standing there.
Oh, right behind you.
me.
Oh, you better not.
Oh no,
sit
this
down,
is the
bud.
gate
Yeah.
to get in.
No, I had sat down on a log and let you get out there a
Oh.
little bit. You told me to sit
Okay.
out, so I'm
Okay.
I'm just
about
trying to give
passed
him
out.
water to sober up.
Right.
I'm
Drink
dozing a
this.
little bit,
It's a
honestly.
bucket.
Matthias is looking down at your two friends, and he says, "Well, that one there has barely got hair on his chin,
Mhm.
so he's only been out of the forest for a couple of days. What does he know?"
Well, he doesn't know much, but that's why I am leading them.
Oh, you're taking conscripts
I'm-
now.
I'm the one that's gonna keep track of these two. But listen,
Well, somebody
what
needs
do,
to keep
do
track
you
of
think the Baron would be appreciative
Mikhail.
if we investigate this story about a hob at the farm?
Oh, yeah, sure. He'd be really pleased. He just kind of nods his head. Well, if you want to go up there and investigate a fairy ring or maybe a couple of mushroom homes, that might be ideal.
I will. Then we will. Good. So, so I have your word then that the Baron will be very appreciative. And
Oh,
and maybe-
he'll appreciate it. I verily, yes. Yes. He's kind of looking at his two boys. You see that, son? Here's someone who's really taken charge of what there's to believe in.
Yes, yes, exactly. That's right, boys. You will be a free man like me one day if you take initiative.
Oh, don't listen to him.
Yes, yes.
The moment you
My-
walk away, they're gonna break out in laughter. You
Yeah,
know,
that's right.
Yeah.
All right, Matthias. Good day to you, and don't let any villains pass the gate.
Oh, no, Mr. Wheelwright. And he slaps the two boys on his shoulders. You go on and take care of that fishwife
Mhm.
story.
I'll spin around on my hill and look as I approach these two. I will shake my head and make a, like those.
Oh, is it
that guy's
morning
nuts.
already?
You need to drink more water, Mikhail.
Ah,
Come on, here. I brought
water,
these
and I
two
look around
buckets
at
for
little
you.
puddles all around me. I drink
No.
this
Listen to me.
shite.
Listen to me.
I need
Sober up.
strong liquor. It makes me strong.
Matthias
gonna
assures me
Spray it, yeah. Can I
that the
just
Baron will
bucket this
pay.
thing?
right?
Yeah, if
Splash
you
him.
throw a bucket
I
in my
just
face,
splash.
yeah, really? Like that, and then
Oh no, I'm not throwing.
nice.
I'm not throwing the
You
bucket.
already threw it, bro. Oh no, I
I'm
mean
not
not
throwing
the bucket, but the water.
I'm tossing the water. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know. And all my curls and my my mullet-esque hair just
Wallet.
flies back and get on
The
my
height of
back.
medieval fashion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Medieval mullet.
It's just stocky
Yeah.
locks,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Business in
Anyway.
the front, party in the back.
Oh,
Listen,
I needed
you
that,
two.
lad.
Straighten up. You're embarrassing me in front of Matthias and the boys.
Oh, I thought you were
Matthias
doing
and the
just well
boys,
yourself.
I look over. Ah, shite. Look.
Matthias assures me the Baron will pay well if we investigate and do rid of this hob and this farm.
In the background,
What
you see the
delusion
boy
are
with
you talking about?
the bow weakly shooting an arrow at a straw target and miss.
Uh-huh.
I tell you, we are doomed if
Matthias is just shaking his head.
Mayhap we do need to check on the hops just to make sure they're all right.
Yeah, so maybe the best place to start would be the Birkins farm.
yes,
I could use a walk.
yes, Wyatt is
And the-
right.
And a
Lead
bath.
the way, Wyatt.
Lead the way, boy. You know where
Okay,
it
guys,
is.
I got this one. So I'll heft up my spear, put it over my shoulder, and I'll just start like walking a little too fast.
Yeah. You're not
Okay.
gonna need that spear, boy. We're not even out of Dredgewater yet.
I'll walk and then I'll do 2 quick steps every once in a while
Yeah,
to keep up.
you
with it.
don't know that, Grant.
You're that far ahead. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. Keep up.
He's keeping a pretty good pace. I mean, he is young,
Yeah,
and eager.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so
Try to
the
follow.
Burkett's farm is almost, it's going to take you till about mid-afternoon to get out there.
Okay.
And the tract it's kind of upland, away from the lowland areas, of course, heading more northward. And you guys are making your way kind of down a very well-rutted road, quote unquote, more like a track, more like a path, more like a swath of dirt. When you kind of start to come up on this slow rise or some rock outcropping on the right-hand side, and you see kind of hanging from a group of trees there, It's very tight copse of birch trees. You see 3 bodies hanging from nooses.
Holy shit. Am I seeing
Oh,
what
that's
I
not
think
good.
I'm seeing, Grant?
No fairy tale. No fairy did that, I don't believe. Are they
I hope the hell not.
can I tell if they are they peasants? Do they have
Oh,
tabards?
they're definitely of very low stature.
Hmm.
Okay.
There's 2 men and 1 boy.
And we need to cut them down.
Cut them down, yes.
All right.
Okay,
I'm
as
breaking
you
out my
guys,
short sword and trying to approach them to do that.
you kind of scrabble up the
Yeah.
the rocky escarpment. Just
Can,
kind of get up there top. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, could I just use the edge of my spearhead to kind of reach up and kind of cut?
Yeah.
The rope, like the
And
rope
I'll,
linings down.
I'll hold the legs so they won't completely fall.
Fall.
And I'll drop them one at a time as they
They
cut 'em
are, the bodies are relatively fresh. You probably could guess maybe no more than a day or 2 they've been hanging here. They have been pecked at by carrion though, so their faces are a little bit unidentifiable. Attached to one, to the boy, is a scrawled kind of like piece of deer skin, and on it is some scrawled writing that says "to the bastards." And
Okay.
it seems like it says plural, but the S is like kind of much further out away from the word bastard, as if someone may have
Right.
signed it in some way or another.
Okay.
Okay, I jumped down off the escarpment into the mud, and I'm immediately alert, and I'm looking around for tracks. This is foul work indeed.
Well,
Well,
This may be related to what Matthias was talking.
it's going to be tough. Go ahead. Finding tracks. Go ahead. And
Yeah, that's 14.
14. It's too old, and it's the ground has been
Covered in.
dampened and wet too much since this has occurred to really discern what direction these people may have come from or not.
Okay.
do we know how long they were hanging there for?
Roughly
Right.
about 2 days.
About
Yeah.
2 days.
How close are we to the farm?
You're about another 2 hours travel to the farm.
Okay.
Okay, so this is at quite some time, but for some reason there
Yeah.
seems to be
Mhm.
this message on the path. I mean, I don't have any idea what the writing says,
Right.
but whatever Matthias was talking about, I'm not quite sure. I didn't quite hear that conversation.
Yeah.
Grant,
Yeah.
but-
See, he talked about a bastard. So I will take this this scrawled parchment deer skin off the boy. I will fold it up and stick it in my tabard. We may need this to show as evidence. I believe we should bury these poor men. They could not have seen a fair trial.
But the Baron,
Right,
we need to alert the Baron. These crimes have
Um,
been committed on his land.
Exactly, but we need to bury
Damnable
these people.
terrain. I can't follow any track that leads me anywhere. As I've been
Maybe
stalking
if you
that
were
area.
sober, Mikhail, you could.
I am sober. Look at me. And I walk up at him, and the damn boy made me sweat all of the libations out. And I turn around and smack him on the arm.
Did any of you guys bring a shovel?
No,
Yeah, don't.
no,
Yeah, I
boy.
know.
We're gonna have to do it the old. We're gonna have to do it the old-fashioned way. We will pile stones upon the bodies.
Okay, then I'll just kind of put my spear off to the side, have it lean up against a tree, and I'll take the shield off, and then I'll just start digging underneath the tree with the
Yes.
shield.
Everybody
Everybody
recognize
will
the
make
Wyatt.
it,
Wyatt, outstanding. I will do the same. I'll slide. That is good, boy. I've never had to work for a living. I like what you're doing there, and I will. I've never worked with my hands, and I'll do the same with the shovel.
Yeah.
Obvious.
Start
Yeah, I
digging.
could tell, so.
Everybody pitch a D20 and add your luck.
Do you recognize these boys,
Ooh.
Wyatt?
No,
Nine.
his face is gone, so it's very hard for me to tell.
Yeah.
I got a 9. No luck score. 9. I forgot to put that in my thing, didn't I?
Or no luck score.
That is 11 total.
11. Okay, so Mikhail, while you're handling the young boy's body and getting him, you kind of bring him over. You're taking them over to an area where you're going to do all this building the pyre at. As you lay him out on the ground, out from one of his kind of like a raggedy pocket slips a small, what looks to be like a brass charm, and it is the shape of a hand with a partial wrist, and there's a small dagger in it.
Okay, I'm picking it up and looking at it.
It's just got a small, like right here where the wrist is, there's a little loop where you would wear it around your neck on a leather thong.
Okay, I turn around and hold it up, because we're all dragging the bodies up there. What do you make of this?
That looks to be now. Is it of high value? Can I tell from?
The craftsmanship is fairly crude. It's definitely cast from sand. It's never been like polished or finished. And brass is fairly nice metal.
I have not seen this before, but it looks like it may be more than the boy could afford.
Could it be a holy symbol, or maybe a part of this message? Maybe it belongs to, like a big bandit enclave out in the woods or something. Like
get
a big,
excited.
serious stuff. Okay.
Do you know of any bandits around Dredgewater, boy? Even bandits know better than to rob the poor of Dredgewater.
I know very little of Dredgewater.
Yeah, man, he don't even know the boy.
This is true. This is true.
Is there a farm around? And I'm looking for in a direction to see if there's a farm.
No, out here you're no. You still got about 2 hours worth of travel to actually get to the Burkett's farm.
Mm-hmm. Is this a crossroads where they were hanging? I missed that.
It's a turn in the road where it starts to kind of sit a little bit more upland. The ground here is it's much drier now because you are early afternoon, so you've traveled almost 4 or 5 hours outside of Dredgewater.
Yeah, I figure it's like just a cart path or a footpath that leads back to the farm. So
one of us needs to tell the Baron, the other, maybe the farm, the Barkets would know of this.
Well, I think
what? You can go speak with them.
I think it'd be best just to check on them, just because it's happened so close to their to their residence too, right?
Well, yes. But I'll head back and speak with the Baron. He'll let me know.
Mikhail, I warn you, do not mention the bastards to Matthias.
Well,
what are you talking about?
Yeah, didn't you say that the
I didn't hear you
having
say
an
any of
audience
that
with
stuff.
anybody?
And I wasn't even listening in character, so I don't even know what you're talking about. I'm just going to the Baron to tell him about his body.
You don't have to. I'm telling you right now, don't mention anything about the bastards to Matthias.
The bastards. Those 2 little kids that you were talking to?
The sign, this, and I pull it out of my tabard and I open it. This, what it says, the bastards. And I roll it up. Can you not read this, Mikhail?
I should take this to the Baron.
He's not going to listen to you.
It's happening on his land. Shut up, boy. And then I turn around on my heel.
Wait, Mikhail, slow down. What are you going to tell them? That we found 3 men hanging? You've done
3
no
men hanging in his
investigation?
land. Something is afoot here.
Don't you think it would be more profitable to tell him more than just we found 3 dead bodies hanging?
I think he's going
to
to
be more profitable to tell him now. You can go do your searching out at the farm, the Burkett's farm. I'll tell them.
Well, I'm keeping this, and I fold it up and I stick it in. Go, Mikhail, and try not to get drunk while you're in town.
Which way did we come from? And I'm looking around.
I'm just going to straight tell him, like, well, we came from this way. I mean, we're walking to the farm over here. Totally blank stare facing him to get him to go with us.
Right.
You know it's
yeah.
Now, okay.
Because by the Mikhail, you know that if you turn and go back to her, I'm not trying to dissuade you.
Yeah.
But you know that in turning and going back, by the time you actually arrive, it's going to be very late.
Yeah, but the tavern will still be open.
Yeah, the town will still be open. Yeah.
No, I said the tavern.
The tavern, yes. The tavern will still be open. Yes.
Yeah, it'll still be open. So
Okay.
I mean, I can talk to the Baron or whatever. Now I turn around. I've got a mind. I want to see. I've got a mind of 0. I want to roll it and see if I can pick up on his little lie. All right.
Who's the lie?
Wyatt's lie.
Wyatt's lie. He's telling me that
All right.
I need to go in the direction of the farm.
Okay.
Okay, I rolled an 8. Okay, I look at him for a minute. Okay, boy. And then I start walking in that direction that you pointed me to.
Okay.
We'll wait. I hold Wyatt
Grant.
back.
Well,
Let
no, I'm
him
gonna
get a
say,
ways
Grant,
ahead.
give him 10 minutes. and
Yes,
follow.
yes, indeed. Good, Wyatt.
I'm ahead of the
Okay.
game.
You're
Yeah.
smart, Wyatt. You're going to
You'll
be.
see
You
me
are going to be a
pause
free
every
man.
once in a while and kind of look.
Don't tell a lot of people that.
You'll see me pause every once in a while and look around, and then I keep walking. Okay.
Okay.
Crazy Ivan. Yeah. He's doing a crazy Ivan. Yeah.
We'll
Continue
creep
along
along
the path.
behind and duck out of his eyesight when we see him stop and look around.
Okay.
I'm convinced he can't even see 15 feet in front of him. It's just
Right.
like a haze of drunkenness. That,
Right.
no.
So after the labor of building the cairns and the time that it's taken, you arrive, or Mikhail, you arrive kind of at this rise where it starts to slope down, and down below you can see a very isolated, small, like Wattle and Daub style building. There's a round kind of like 2-story-ish, maybe a story and a half, really, tower with a damaged thatch roof. And then there's some very flat looking angled top, like chicken coops, and you can hear the bleating of sheep and the clucking of chickens. The sun is kind of like low, very far, very nearly starting to kind of, it's very picturesque down below. Very nice and quiet.
Stop and look, and I go, what the hell? And I'm rolling again. Okay, I got a 16.
You're pretty sure you did not pass this on the way here.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah, going uphill the whole way didn't.
Yeah.
what the hell? And then I spin around and, in agitation or whatever like that, and I'll do that for a minute and then huff and puff for a little bit.
Okay,
Right.
you see him very frustrated as he stands at this top of this ridge.
Miguel, you have beaten us. You have
Miguel,
beaten us to the
You
Burkus
sons of
farm.
bitches!
I told you it was the other way. What
You'll
are you
pay
doing?
for this boy.
Pay for what? I told you to go the other way.
You owe me
But
a
look-
tankard.
But look, you have found it, the Burkus farm.
This is far from the damn mayor's place.
I'll look out
The Baron.
to see if there's any movement. Is the farmer out? Any of his family? Any trace of human beings moving about?
You see a donkey, and there's a lad with who's taking and removing tack from it, like a wedged plow, like a wedge plow,
Okay.
and getting that stuff kind of set to the side. You can see a slow rise of smoke, coming from the chimney of the small house. And
Good, they are home.
you can definitely, it's late afternoon by now,
Well, it's
Good.
probably-
Shit, I better guess we check on the hops while we're here. And
Are
I'm
you
walking over
saying
to that-
hops?
I'm walking over to that grain
This
silo.
was grain for food, was it not?
The
Does it
grain was
matter?
for food. Yeah.
What was the yes?
The grain
There's a-
silo. I'm
there's a
walking over to the
hob,
silo.
Not hops. There's a hob.
It's a hob. He's
who had
drunk.
cursed.
What the hell are you
Wyatt,
talking
don't
about?
even try. He's drunk.
What the
Oh
hell
no,
are you
I know
talking
that.
about?
I'm
And I
explaining
walked
it
over
to you. I mean,
I've walked off from them. They don't know what the hell
Okay.
they're talking about. They're confusing me. So I'm walking over to the silo.
so you're coming down the hill slope, walking towards the silo.
Yeah, and just check on it. See if the hops are as bad as what's been foretold to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
okay, so we
And-
rush down there to make sure he doesn't do anything too
Right, right.
So as you
Yeah.
are coming down the hillside and you see Mikhail making his way towards the side, what acts as a
Yeah.
silo, the door, the top part of the half door kind of comes open, and you can see a late-aged gentleman, long beard, fairly well kept, dressed in woolens, definitely workaday clothes, kind of watching you as you're coming down the hill, as the light is coming out from the inside of the main common room, the one room that it probably has.
Well met. And I woke up on him.
Eh?
You're the farm. You're
Yeah.
the farmer.
Yeah.
How are your hops?
Me what?
Your hops, I heard they were ruined.
Hops. No hops here. Wheat. Barley.
Wait, what barley?
Yeah,
How's the
no
barley?
hops. The barley is terrible.
Terrible. Oh, this isn't good.
Haven't you heard?
This isn't good. What happened?
Oh, he rolls his eyes.
Oh, shit. I'm looking up at his thatch roof. Obviously, there's a hole in it, and I can see what's past him, right?
Yeah.
Into the silo, yeah.
Well, he's not in the silo. He's at the actual, like, residential building.
Okay,
Farmhouse.
Yeah, the farmhouse.
okay.
But you
all
can
right.
see from where you're standing at that, yeah, the roof of the silo is badly damaged.
Okay, yeah, I look at that and kind of get his look on my face. And, hell, I traveled all the way out here to see if I could help you. But you got a room for the night?
While he's
A place
talking to the
uh,
farmer,
yeah, a place to bed down for the night.
There's the stable.
Shit.
fitting.
Stable.
While he's talking to the farmer, I'm gonna go into this silo and
Hey, oi! What you doing there?
I'm investigating whether this is if this is in this condition because you failed to take care of your silo.
Failed to take care of our silo. Did you
Yeah,
hear
roof.
that?
Where'd you say that stable was? I'm looking around.
It's kind of
Oh, shit.
the stable. The stable's like
Okay.
here, and then the residence is here, and then the silo's over here.
Okay, I'll walk around to it. And
It looks to me like the holes in this roof are because you, sir, did not maintain this roof, Mr. Burkus.
That's Burkett's.
Whatever.
Did you hear that? He keeps turning around and talking to someone inside.
There's
Oh.
really nobody there.
Who's in there with you, Burkus?
Burkett's. He opens the door, and you can see that he's got woolen trousers, some very low-cut slip shoes, a small hunting knife on his hip, and he comes walking out, puffing his pipe, and he closed the door. He closed the bottom door behind him, and the top section closes of its own volition.
Mm.
And he starts making his way towards where you're
Quiet.
standing at, looking at the
I whisper to
Silo.
Wyatt, keep your eye on that front door, boy.
Well, okay.
and he's apparently talking to Wheelwright, but looking at Wyatt, always coming over here saying I'm not taking care of things. I pay my taxes. I keep them palisade walls built.
Yes, but they're going to starve in the palisade at the rate you store your grain.
It's still early.
Do you know the rumors
Rumors? Rumors about what?
about the hob? This is because of you.
Oh, not that damn thing again.
Is that
Really?
right?
You coming out here investigating tales? Here,
Well,
let's go
there's-
in and look then. Here, come on with me. And he goes over and walks over to the door.
Okay.
He kind of
I'll put
undoes
my
a little
hand on my
latch.
sword, and I'll check my shield as close as I walk up behind him. Keep my eyes right on the back of his head.
Okay. He's undoing the latch. He,
I will keep my eye
the
on the
door-
door too while I'm seeing this, but I'm giving off a little.
the
smirk.
door opens outward. He pulls open the door, and some light can make it in. There's some light from coming through the doorway, and there's some light coming from down above, and you can kind of see it's about 8 foot inner diameter, and there's some rough patches of dirt, all kind of like mixed with grain and straw, but it's definitely mildewy. It's definitely moldy. And there's this slight smell of early fermentation going on.
Okay.
And he kind of looks in, and he steps in, and he takes his pipe out, and he points up at the hole in the roof, and he goes, "You see that? Do you see that?"
Yes, I see it. Not unlike the hole in the roof of the silo.
This is the silo.
Oh,
good
I'm
Lord.
sorry, I
You don't
misunderstood.
even
I
know
thought we went to the house.
You wandered all the way out here, and you still don't know where you are.
I
So look
thought
up
we
there.
went back to the house.
No.
I'm killing myself
That-
10 feet back.
Okay.
Yeah.
That hole That hole is the result of storms.
Storms, you say? What kind of storms?
Well, the rain comes down and the wind picks up and it gets
Yes,
a little
but
buoy.
if it
It's
had
a little
been
bit more than
properly
just a slight
secured,
breeze.
it would not have happened.
I'm the only one out here aside from my pagan, ungod-fearing nephew.
Then who was that you were talking to? Was that your missus then you were talking to in the house?
Who? Talking to who?
You were talking to someone in the house.
I was talking to no one.
I'm looking for any kegs
Now-
or storage in the
There's
In
lots
the
of
stable?
sacks. There's lots of empty sacks, and there's a two-wheel cart.
I'm just
that
looking
would
where he
attach
hides
the
his
donkey.
stash, you know what I mean? So I'll be doing that until I uncover
Okay.
something.
So you're milling around inside the barn. It's very barny, stinky. Definitely smells of ass.
Literally and figuratively. Yeah.
Literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, since
Well.
you're here, and maybe like your oafish friend, you'll be needing a place to stay.
Oh, maybe I will, but I am a free man. I don't stay in the stables.
Well, I could extend a small pallet for you.
Inside the house there with your the one you're not speaking to.
Sure.
Ah, good. Sounds good. Now what about the boy? The stables for the boy?
Stables for the boy.
Ah, you hear him, Wyatt. Stables for you. I will be sleeping inside.
As always.
Keep a close eye on Mikhail. If there's any liquor about, he will get it and he will be drunk.
He's already passed out with the horses.
I believe
So
it.
after
He
a
is out of
rummage,
shape.
after a rummage around the barn, I mean, it's atypical implements. Virtually everything, pretty much everything in here looks to be either made from wood or a combination of wood and stone, cobbled together tools. Even the plow is a very large piece of slate, which has been mounted.
But no instruments for making brewing anything.
No,
that I can
nothing
see.
for brewing. No.
Shit. Okay, I'm stomping out of the place, kicking off the horse shite that's on my boots. When I come out the front, and I'm looking both ways, and I'll go around. I'll walk around the back of the house and everything, just giving it's got to be around there somewhere.
Okay.
So
So Wyatt, you see, after Grant and
Mikhail.
Mr. Burkett's kind of kibitz for a second, determine who's staying where. You see Mikhail come out of the barn. He kind of shakes his foot a little bit. You see something fly off. And then he begins to he starts to circle around back behind the barn.
Got this quizzical look up in my face.
Okay, I better keep an eye on him. So I'll go and I'll just make my way. I'll take my eyes off the door, which Grant told me not to do, and I will go babysit Mikhail.
Okay.
Naughty.
Mr. Burkett's watches Wyatt, traipse off. The curious is afoot, and he makes his way back to the house.
I'll follow, 2 steps behind him toward the house, and it's small talk. So, Mr. Burkett's, how do you feel about bastards?
Well, I'm housing one right now.
Interesting. Come here. Can you read, Mr. Burkett's?
No,
Damn.
I can't. Is that some kind of insult?
No, but do you trust me if I show you something and tell you what it says?
He takes a couple of quick puffs off his pipe. I'm sure if I could not read it, I wouldn't know if you're telling me the truth or not. So let's see what this thing you've got.
So I fish out and unfold it and show it to him. Do you realize there were 3 bastards hanging from the trees not 2 hours down the road from here? A young boy and 2 men hanging dead with this around the boy's neck.
No, I haven't been off the farm in over a week.
Have you heard of such things? Are there someone going about killing bastards?
He kind of smiles. Well, probably a lot of angry fathers. Probably even less angry mothers.
But angry
There's
fathers.
a lot of work that needs to be done these days on the farms, and so every bastard is needed. whether
Well,
it's a royal blood
then you
or
better
peasant's blood.
then you better keep an eye on your bastard and yourself because they're killing you. Somebody's killing you. Does that not put the fear of God in you?
T, you
Tea?
interrupted me. Yes, you interrupted me about dinner.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes, T.
So
Yes.
he opens the door as you're walking over, he opens the door to the house, and it's pretty much just one single giant room on the inside.
Okay.
Packed earth floor, lots of odds and ends hanging from the walls and from the ceilings, dried herbs, all kinds of manner of stuff for preparations, animal hides as well, sheep's hide.
Okay. Any books, any writing
No.
instruments?
No, nothing. No ink, no pen, no quill, no parchment, no paper, no bound volumes, no scrolls.
Okay. I'll walk around the room, eyeing everything. Look to the floor to see if there is a cellar.
Nope.
Something blocking the floor, and I'm looking, of course, in every dark corner for who he may have been speaking to.
You see across the way a small boy standing at the stove, presumably the one that you saw out, removing the tack from the donkey. And he is standing by this large open kind of like hearth space, stirring porridge, what you can smell to be porridge, maybe just a small bit of rosemary, maybe just a small scent of like rabbit, coming from the porridge. And he kind of looks up at you. He's all dirty, just staring at you. He doesn't look very happy. Like he's been working a lot all day on his own.
Tired there, boy, are you?
Yes.
Got you cooking a rabbit?
The small one.
Where did you get the rabbit, boy?
He points out the door.
I'll look over to Burkett. Burkett.
He's sitting down at a table, large split oak, single slab.
So this is your nephew, huh, Burkett?
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, yes, I will have some rabbit stew, boy, and I'll go over and sit down with him.
Okay.
I shall have some of that.
You guys begin to eat.
I lean my head in. What? I lean my head into it because I've already made my circumference around the place.
So are you?
Can I come in?
Why are you following him like really close, or are you trailing?
I'm just actually going to see where this goes.
Okay.
I'm just going to kind of stand back and just make sure he doesn't do anything too foolish.
You knock on the front door.
Yeah, is it closed?
Well, you can tell that the upper half of the door is loose. So when you knock, it just kind of swings in.
Yeah, I hurried along by swinging it in. Farmer, are you in there? Can I come in?
More company than we've had in like 2 months.
You should be grateful for it. This calls for a
Take your boots off. You've been out in the barn.
Shit.
Burkess, do not let him drink.
Like that should matter.
We don't have anything here to drink except.
Good.
Yeah, before I hear all that crap, I say, you ain't had no visitors in how long? This calls for a drink. And I kick off as I'm kicking off my shoes or whatever, and I swing it in.
Okay.
And I go sit down by the table with him. And then I notice Grant.
What?
How you doing, boy?
Where's Wyatt?
The hell if I know.
He was supposed to be watching the front door of this place.
Well, he wasn't there when I got there.
Beckett looks at you and he says, now why would he need to be watching the door of my house?
Well, because we thought you were talking to somebody in there.
I was talking to the boy.
Well then, I'll poke my head up. I'll stand up, walk over to the door, poke my head out. Wyatt, join us for rabbit stew.
It's porridge.
I lean over when he's
barely have enough water for broth.
Okay.
Watch that one. He's a curious one.
Yeah, at least that's not dirt porridge. I'm used to that.
Dirt
So,
porridge.
so what I'll do is I'll kind of go over to the door and I'll be like, well, I mean, before I would
Take
eat
your
my
boots
meal-
off. I can smell that you've been in the barn too.
Oh, that's not a problem. But what I would like to do is, seeing how you are being so humbling and letting us use your barn as a place to stay and willing to feed us, before I actually have a meal at this time, I would like to offer my services. I can dig out all that rotten barley that's on the bottom half of your silo for you, just to clean it up a little bit.
Grant, well, actually, yeah. So you guys both notice quickly that the boy perks up when he mentions that he will do this.
Yeah.
No, it's okay. We can take care of it, but it's awfully nice. You're very well mannered for such a dirty man.
Farmer. He's eager
Yeah.
to do it.
Well, I was going
It
to say
is
I
for
was
the
raised. I was raised a farmer myself, and I know that it can be hard at times. And
Oh, very
especially
hard.
with only the two of you as well. And I would feel
Yes,
really
just
out
the
of
two of us.
sorts. Yeah.
You could muck out the barn, though.
Okay, I can totally help with that. So I like to get that done first before I kind of fill my belly and begin to.
Well,
not
there's a
feel the
shovel
need to
just
move.
on the other side of the house here. A
He's
couple
been
of
needing
them.
a shovel.
A couple of wooden spades. Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
a couple of wooden spades.
All right. I'll be back within the hour.
Get to work, boy.
That Wyatt
Marcus
is an
turned
eager
easy
young man. Eager young man. Ought to be young again. Hey, Mikkel.
He's as eager as you are suspicious. Yeah. I slapped the top of the table. How about that drink, farmer?
He puts a
Yeah,
glass of
that's-
water in front of you.
Oh, I wouldn't
Hell,
drink
this
that
is
unless you want the trots, Mikkel.
This is, this is dredge water.
No, that's not dredge water. We keep the barrel over there on the inside of the house, and then that wooden little hollowed out limb brings the rain in from the top of the roof.
Yeah, very ingenious. And
How
I,
about
I
that?
grimace.
And
I
sometimes
grimace
we-
and turn up the thing and swish around in my mouth.
It's a little woody, but
Oh.
it's not brackish by any means. It's definitely not, unpalatable. Not beer or wine or mead, but
You got any meat?
there's
Throw it on the
rabbit
table.
in the porridge.
Oh, I had porridge. We've been on the road for a while.
Eat up,
Something for my
Mikkel. You'll
belly.
need your strength for the hob when he shows.
Oh,
He said the
God.
hops were ruined.
He looks at
You don't have no
He-
hops, do you? The
Marcus
barley.
looks at Grant, and then he looks at. He just.
Mikhail.
I can't. What hops? There's no hops.
We can settle
There's
this
no
over
hops,
some
and
porridge.
there's no hob. He looks at the little boy, right? And the little boy's like, right?
Yeah.
The
Might not
boy
be.
the boy would not lie.
We found three dads bastard hanging from a tree on the way here.
It could be thieves,
hours
bandits, hung up.
Have
For
you-
all I know, that sign that you found on them says "for the bastards." Could be for any bastards wanting around, just robbing people willy nilly in these hard times. Coming out.
There's
of spring.
there's no neighbor farm. up
Have you heard of any bandits, highwaymen robbing along these parts?
Well, I mean, up north from here, there's all kinds of ilk that can come down. Mercenaries. This side of Dredgewater County, we could always have trouble.
This is true. But they did not look like bandits. They looked like mere peasants. And a young boy hung.
Why would they hang a boy?
I'm asking you. They said bastards hung a sign around him.
We'll let the Baron know when we get back. We mustn't dally, but we'll need a place to stay for the night. We appreciate it, farmer.
The name's Beckert.
Beckert. Mr. Beckert, then.
There,
Give me some porridge, boy.
Wait, did he? Okay, actually, I was just gonna ask if we could just pause and kind of back. So when I had asked him at the beginning, when I said, "Yeah, just the two of you," I know how hard it is, and he seemed to emphasize, "Yes, just the two of us." Did I pick up on that? Like, wait,
Yeah.
I was like, no, he's really something. So I'm actually going to go over and I'm going to see if I can wave Gran over to actually help out. So I'll kind of like take off my leather chest piece, leave my spear and my shield kind of off to the side next to the barn and kind of look like that. You know, I've been working a little bit, so I'm a little muddy and dirty. And I'll walk back and be like, excuse me, Grant, can I just have your assistance? There's just a piece of stone that I wish to move and I can't do it on my own.
Of course, of course. Mikhail, keep an eye on the farmer and the boy. And I'm up, stumble over to the door, belch up a little rabbit porridge, and out the door. What is it, Wyatt? I do not do manual labor, but what do you need?
So then what I'll do is I'll get him back over to near the barn where we're cleaning.
Okay. I'm going to run to the restroom real quick. Go ahead and continue your conversation.
Yeah. I was going to say, Brackett is lying.
No, I don't believe it.
Yeah, it's not just the two of them. There's something else going on here. When I mentioned it to him that it was only the two of them and that they would need some help with the farm, he really emphasized that it really was only the two of them. And I think he's changed his name more than once since we've been here. It's supposed to be it is supposed to be Barkets. Burkus and then Brickets, and he's changed. Like, I mean, it's not just the drunken rabblings of Mikhail like it normally is. This gentleman has actually mispronounced his name, I think, 2 or 3 times.
Yes, Wyatt, you are almost as observant as I. I have already not spotted these things. But what can we do? I don't see any other people about.
I would say just be careful.
Have you checked the barn? Are there any hidden... Have you been in the barn?
Well, I would need the narrator to come back for that, but yeah. Yeah, Brian. So as I was kind of just cleaning and sweeping the barn, is there anything in here that I have found, like within any of the boxes that might be in here or in the hay?
Are you in the silo?
Well, as
we're in the
not
barn.
The silo. I'm in the barn. They didn't want me in the silo.
So
which is weird.
As you are kind of, you're clearing out the barn and you're moving stuff around, you start to notice that on the floor, there's some pools of wax. And you kind of, as you're like brushing the dirt away, the wax is kind of pinkish in color, and they're definitely marked in like the 4 corners of a square.
Okay.
You kind of also see that some of the dirt on the floor between each of the candles has kind of been disturbed, as if kind of like furrowed out as to make a trough, and it's discolored in kind of the brown of the dirt is much darker and bricker red in color. Not like a thick stream, but just like you can see patches of it in the furrow in the ground.
Okay.
There appears to be a couple of small burnt pieces of rosemary, like two large sprigs that appear to be burned. And you can also see a small scrap, a very tiny little corner of what looks to be a piece of parchment. Nothing written on it. It's just a little corner of paper with a burnt edge on it.
Okay. So what I'll do is I'll just reiterate that, of course, to Grant, and then I'll kind of give him that little piece of parchment. So I'll say that, and also when
my eyes grow big as I reach out for it.
And I'll say, and as well, when I mentioned the silo, and that boy raised his eyes when I said I would clean it out, but Brackett was very quick to say that it didn't need to be done. He's not a farmer. A farmer would never do that. I would never turn down such hard work like that, especially for that kind of assistant. It is a lot of work to clean a silo after there's rot. You have to scrub it in order to get it out of there to make sure that the next bit of stock is not also infected with this rot. So, and also just to kind of pause there for a second, Brian.
Yeah.
I noticed that he's changed his name a couple times. Is that just me or?
No.
No? Okay.
That's what he's saying.
That's what he's saying, because he's changed his name, I think, twice or 3 times while we've talked to him. It's been different. So, yeah. So I'm going to say, I don't know. There's some sort of trickery afoot.
There is. I'm going to pull out this thing that was hung on the boy and see if this parchment matches up
No.
to this.
What you have is a rolled piece of deer skin.
Right. I'll
And
put it
what
back.
he gave you is a very, like I say, it's maybe like yay big.
And it's
about the
actual
size-
parchment
it's
paper.
actual paper.
Gotcha.
I was going to say, if possible, see if you might be able to talk to the boy.
I think you might have better luck. You are younger. You're closer to his age, don't you, Wyatt? And you are a working boy. I'll send him out to help you.
Well, if Farmer Brackett will allow that, I have a feeling that's not going to happen.
Hmm.
I mean, go ahead and try. I'll see if there's anything else I can find here, but I think I found everything that's going to be found here. I'll be back in and probably
Yes.
a little bit. I shouldn't be very much longer.
Then I think we should investigate the silo. They don't want us in there for sure.
Yeah.
All right, I'll head back to the house.
All right. While Wheelwright is out talking with Wyatt, Mikhail.
As soon as I get that bowl of porridge, I'll move it into me greedily and start doing all that, barely looking up, okay? Gotta fill my stomach a little bit. It's good stuff. Good.
It's got a good stiff, sooty flavor to it, as well as the little bits of rabbit, a predominant flavor of rosemary. Its texture is very coarse, though, as if it's, just kind of undercooked. So it sticks, in the teeth. Very
it
toothsome.
sticks in the teeth. It'll stick on the ribs.
Oh, it'll come out fine just the other end. So don't you worry about that.
Oh yeah, give me another bowl and I'll slide it back over and look at the boy. Fill her up, boy.
He fills it again.
All right, I pull it in. And about halfway through the second one, I'll slow down. And lean back. It's too bad you don't have no L, but they're gone now. You don't have to share it with them if you don't.
He says no.
Come on, man.
There's no beer, no nothing here. We don't keep much around here.
What self-respecting farmer? No offense. Wouldn't have a keg in the stash.
Well, the kind of self-respected farmer that works himself to the bone.
Yeah, but you've been here, like you said, for a week or two, right?
Well, no, I've been here much longer than that.
Yeah, I mean, you can't get resupply.
We get most of what we need.
You had hops and barley here.
No hops.
Well, barley.
No, read my lips. There's no hops.
Trade.
It's just barley and wheat for the bread and barley for the porridge. That's enough.
That's good.
And maybe a couple of sheep somewhere out there in the pasture. I haven't seen them for a day, but they'll come back.
If the wolves ain't got to them. But nevertheless, I appreciate your hospitality. I'd like to regale you with a tale. And then I sit back and rub my little paunch.
He stuffs his pipe and he looks over at the boy and he says, "Oh, he's got a tail now."
Hey, I'm a traveling man. And then I'll pull out this tale about my my travels through the northern wood heading down south of Dredgewater, and how I'd stay there for the night, perched up on a log, and was about to drift off to sleep. I had a couple of stouts with me, in my wineskin. And I looked over the glen, and in the marsh, through the marsh, I could see the tendrils of smoke, and above them it appeared lighting, almost the will-o'-the-wisp. And I heard my name. I could swear it was my name calling me.
Your name calling you.
Mikhail, I told you my name, right? It's the same as if they would have called your name. I'm drifting off and they call my name Mikhail. Head south.
And did you go?
Well, I'm here, aren't I? And then
So
I headed.
You left and you came here back north
After
from the
I
south.
passed out, had a good rest. And
he raises his eyes and looks at the boy, and now he wonders why we don't have any beer or wine in the house.
Yeah. Well,
You notice that the boy has refilled Grant's bowl. He took the porridge back and then changed it for another bowl, put the other porridge into the pot. and he's kept everything warm. You know, he's very dutiful and very focused on trying to keep everything organized and keep everything neat, and to keep the fire hot. And every now and then you see that he will kind of tuck in
the
the
only
coat
time he would
strap.
really warrant my attention, since I can't see past my own nose, is if I need something from him immediately.
Okay.
So if he don't do anything, like if he fails to provide, that's when he'll raise my flag. But
Oh,
otherwise,
he never fails to provide.
yeah, otherwise I'm entrenched with BSing with the farmer.
Okay.
So I'll keep slipping back in the column with the farmer, through the whole thing.
Okay.
You're a good farmer. That's what you are.
I'll poke my head in the top door as I come back. Boy, Wyatt needs your help in the barn.
The
Boy.
farmer looks over at you. Then he looks at the boy, and the boy's kind of standing there with the spoon in the porridge.
Boy, are you deaf?
And the farmer says, well, boy, the man needs your help. And he takes the spoon out and he sets it down on, wipes it off with a towel, sets it down before he sets it down on the table. And then he turns and makes his way to the door. And then he looks back at the farmer. Go on now.
I
boy.
pull open the bottom door. Come now, boy. He just needs your help in the barn. There's nothing to be feared of.
Okay.
That was strange. And I go back to eating my porridge and drinking my.
Mikhail, you're not boring Burkus with tales of the Southern Sleep again, are you? Where they called your name time and time again to
It
no
was-
avail?
Very exciting and entertaining, I must say.
Yes, he knows. He's a good audience.
Yes. Well, I'm going to
Unlike
return to help
yourself.
Wyatt and the boy. You stay here, Mikhail, with Burkus, and I'll shut the bottom door, and I'll pull shut the top door, shutting them
So
in.
serious and suspicious all the time. Always
And I'll
asking
look to
questions.
see if the boy is headed toward the barn.
He's standing just a little ways away from you, standing, and he's staring up at you. You probably say he's probably no older than like 9.
Go, boy, to the barn. Why, you'll find Wyatt there.
He turns and kind of stiff-armed and gangly-legged and makes his way over to the barn. Wyatt, you're kind of moving some stuff around, and you see kind of
And
like
I'm headed for the silo. The minute
a-
the boy takes off, I start across to the silo.
you see a backlit, moonlit shadow kind of peek its way in through the door, and you've got a couple of torches lit, lanterns, just kind of keep some light in here so you can keep working.
I'm just gonna get him to come over here and help me with like a crate that I really don't need help with. Be like, here, come over here. Just help me with this.
Okay.
I just need to move it just a couple feet towards the back here, just to make some room. I mean, that
All right.
Mikhail, he's got such a huge ego. I mean, he'll be barely able to fit in here. So
All right,
I'll just
so-
kind of get him to lift it.
He's helping you move.
Okay.
Mikhail, do you have something? I saw you kind of.
Farmer. Yeah, farmer, do you have an instrument? Around tucked away.
Got a fiddle.
Fiddle, that's perfect. Perfect.
Do you play?
Break her out.
Can you play well?
Indeed. Well enough for the likes of you. No
Well.
offense. No offense, but we're on a farm. We're not in a hall. A king's
All right.
hall. A
Are you
baron's
going
hall.
to attempt to actually play, or are you just going to?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so you're
I am a bit of a bard, at least in my own mind.
okay.
Yeah, but that's
It's
when you're
not
drunk. You're
tuned.
sober right now, so I have a feeling it's not the same, right?
Yeah, but I'm trying to get him happy enough to share his stash with me.
Right.
Oh
all
God. He
This
gave
how
Okay,
they
Mikhail
do
an
I've
it.
got-
instrument.
I've got a +1 on procedure, or
So you've been around, Yeah, I see your +1 to prestige.
I'm gonna get
Uh,
to stomping and get a little bit of a,
He's gonna
I would
snap every
say
string on that. thing.
roll
oh
it.
my God.
Use your spirit.
Whoa.
Apply spirit.
Critical failure.
Yeah.
What, you got a 1?
Yeah. That was
Natural
good.
1. Okay. So you give one screech across the cat gut to start it out, and then as you pull back, you catch the heel of the bow across all 3 strings which are attached and manage to pry them loose and snap the pins at the head of the lute or the fiddle neck. And the farmer just puts his pipe down and he goes, well, now, wasn't that a beautiful piece of playing?
Oh, shit. Damn. I'm in a real fiddle. Something that can.
He
This
gets
is
up.
falling apart on
He
me.
gets up and he holds out his hand and he goes, can I see that? Can
Yeah.
I know it's
Maybe
just
you
a
can help,
farm.
but I can't.
I know it's just a farm and all.
It's
But
too
can I
far
have it?
gone.
Too far gone. He takes the fiddle and he goes back to the table, and you can see that he's trying his best to, you know, put
I'm
the
trying to
pins
cover
in,
my
but they're
embarrassment.
broken, and the
and still eat.
strings are all frayed now. And he goes, well,
I'm sorry, farmer. Where are they anyway? You figured they'd be back by now.
it takes a lot of time to shovel shit out of a barn,
Hey, maybe you got a point there.
especially in the dark.
Yeah.
So, we all right? You're going over to the silo.
Yeah, halfway across, I hear the of the, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, as if a small rat was being choked.
Yeah.
And
So
then
with
it's
that,
in Wyatt, as you are, this kid is helping, the child is helping you to move this crate. You can hear this off in the distance. It's a light, like a screeching noise, but the boy is visibly shirked by this. He's got the crate in his arms and he's trying to hold it up and he's trying to help you. And you can see he's just breaking out in a cold sweat and his skin goes very pallid all of a sudden. And then there's this dink, dink, and he drops the crate and he's like,
okay, I'll just say, just leave the box for now there, kid. Here, sit up on top here. Just relax for a little bit. Just taking a look at him. Does he look like?
His eyes are wide. The pupils are dilated. Like I say, he's sweating and he's still shaking.
Okay.
Shaking very, like, uncontrollably. He's trying. You can tell he's trying to get himself back under control, but.
I'll ask him straight up. I'll just kind of look him in the eye, kind of try and give him a glance like that everything's going to be okay, and be like, tell me what you need.
He looks up at you and he points over at the area where, did you remove the candle wax or anything like that?
No.
Is it still sitting there on the ground?
Everything is still there.
And he points at the ground, the area where the square is made with the 4 candles.
Okay.
And he says, I need the candles. I need new ones. And I need more blood.
More blood for what?
He has his hand, his head is dipped down. And when he looks up at you and opens his eyes are solid black in color. No white, no iris. And when he opens his mouth to speak, his teeth are kind of like crooked and rotten and twisted, and his lips are cracked. And he says, I need it to get free.
Okay. I was going to say, but he needs new candles and new blood. Doesn't matter. Okay. So yeah, at that point, I'm just going to be like, Grant, get over here. Like uncontrolled. Like, I don't know what's going on. I'm freaking out at this. So
Grant, you're at the silo, and the door is it's bolted from the outside. So and it's no lock or anything. You just open it up. You look in and you can see, the wafting smell of pre-fermentation is coming out. It's kind of musty, very humid inside there. And
I'll kick around. I'll walk in and kick around in some of the mildewy and just see if there's any evidence that they've tried to hide something or bury something.
Okay, as you're kind of kicking, the piles of grain, because they are pretty substantial,
Sure.
if they're going to save seeds for a crop, they have to save quite a lot.
Right.
And as you're kind of kicking around, you kick and a small, like semi-dried avalanche of moldy barley starts to slide down, and you see the pallid corpse wax face of the boy underneath the grain.
Holy shit! And I stumble back out of the silo. Wyatt! And I turn toward the silo and start running toward the barn. I mean, toward the barn. Turn toward the barn and start running that way.
Okay. And you can hear Wyatt calling from the...
Yeah, he's yelling about the time I'm yelling.
Yeah. Grant! Wyatt! Yeah. Yeah.
Mikhail. So the farmer is... Now he's a little bit more frantic about trying to fix the fiddle. He's looking around. He grabs a couple of hand-carved spoons, and with his hunting knife, he whacks off the ends, the handles, and starts to push them into the holes and try to restring the fiddle.
Okay. I was obviously a bit embarrassed at the moment. So why don't fuss over that fiddle. We can work with it later. You can sit down. Let's have a chat. They should be done shortly, I think, to come in. Can I help you? And I start getting up and kind of walking around while he's doing this. You know,
he says,
try to put my hands on it to hold it. Can I hold it somewhere for you? You know.
He says, hold it by the base. And you guys are, he's trying very diligently to repair this fiddle. Give me a roll of a D20.
Okay. That is 6. That's 6.
I mean, he is extremely desperate at this point. He's frantic. He's looking over at the bow, and
it's just a damn fiddle, man.
Cat gut is all strung out off of it. And he goes, "This will never work. This will never work. This is not going to work."
It'll be all right. It'll be all right. Calm down. Calm down. Set it down. Set it down. And I'll put my hands on him visibly to kind of push him away, and then push the fiddle down. You know,
and
calm down.
Immediately, as you put your hands on his shoulders, he throws his arms up to kind of like get your hands off of him. And he says, "I've got to find the boy now." And he turns and starts to try and make his way towards the door.
Okay. When he does, I'm kind of thrown back like that, and he starts to run.
Yeah, he's turning away from you as he's saying, "I've got to find the boy," and you can see he's going to be making his way out towards the door.
And if he's bolting for the door, I'm kind of just standing there perplexed, and then I'll look down as he's running out, and then pick up the fiddle. What the hell? And then I'll start walking over to the door to lean out.
Okay.
All right.
Grant, Wyatt, you guys converge inside the barn, and you see Grant, the boy, sitting on the crate, and he looks very pallor, doesn't look dead. His eyes look normal, his teeth look normal, his lips look normal, but he just looks like he's been chilled to the bone, and he's still shaking very violently.
I slide to a stop in the barn. Wyatt, get away from the boy. That is not the boy. He is dead in the silo.
Okay, so me strapping my leather armor back on, and then kind of having the spear just off to the side. Oh, don't worry. I'm very well aware of what's going on at this point. I don't know what that is. Black eyes and sharp teeth, and it says it needs more blood and 4 new candles in this room. I don't know why. I don't know if I can trust that. Have you heard of anything like this? I don't know these lands very well.
Only of pagan rituals. This may be some kind of pagan curse or pagan ritual. That's all I know.
Can we trust this fake boy that is saying at its word that this blood and these candles will set it free? Like, I don't even know what it's doing here.
At a start, the boy jerks to a standstill of twitching, and then kicks himself off the crate and bolts straight towards the door to make it past both of you.
Oh,
I'm going to try and attempt to
I'm going to tackle him.
Okay.
I'm just going to reach out and try to tackle this boy.
With my spear, yeah. I was going to see if I could just trip him, just thunk.
Okay.
Just with the blunted end.
So it's going to be a 2 for Wyatt. For you to trip and get that effect, it's going to be tough. Wheelwright For you to tackle the boy, bodily tackle the boy, it's going to be average, high average, low tough.
Okay.
Okay. I rolled a 17 and I added 2 because of my body.
Okay.
So that's a 19.
All right. Wheelwright?
I maybe I trip over his spear on my way and tumble into the horse shit that he had.
So you, Wyatt,
True to form.
You do successfully trip the boy. So he trips and sprawls head first, face first, down onto the dirt. Unfortunately, Wheelwright kind of got caught in the spear shaft and managed to miss the boy, but
Damn you, Wheelwright, what are you doing? And I'm trying to get up in the mud, the shit and the mud and the.
okay, as
because I think he tripped me. I don't know.
Well, you yelled Wheelwright, so that's just a little bit of
I'm sorry, Wyatt.
Okay. I was gonna say, you're angry at yourself?
No. Damn you,
Okay.
Wyatt, what are you doing,
Get your
boy?
friggin' legs off of my spear. I gotta get to the boy.
okay, he's face down on the ground. Wyatt, you're in control at this point.
Yeah, so I'm gonna kind of come up to him and kind of not grab the back of his scruff, but just the back of the shirt and kind of lift him up. And I just want to kind of look at him right in the face and be like, what are you?
He's kicking and screaming, let me go. I got to get to the woods before the farmer gets here.
I'll let him go. I don't know what to do.
Bolts and runs.
Okay.
Oh, and
As soon as his feet hit the ground,
no,
he's bolting and running.
Go.
And Grant, as soon as you're getting up off the ground, you kind of hear this going on and you're like, don't let him go. And you can kind of see out through the doorway, the farmer is coming out from the house and making his way towards the barn. As soon as Wyatt lets the boy go and his feet hit the ground and he starts running for the tree line, the farmer's like, no! And he starts bolting after the boy.
I'll stand up, dust off, step to the edge of the barn, watching them run, look at Wyatt and say, I don't know what is going on here.
Mikhail? Or
I walk out to the door. You'll see me lean out with a broken fiddle in my hand. I look down at it and look up at them, run off to the woods. And I look over at Grant.
Okay. I mean, after a few minutes, the boy disappears into the darkness, because he's out of any light source area. As soon as he gets about 40, 50, 60 feet away from you guys, he is into the dark. Soon after that, the farmer is into the dark, but you can hear the farmer screaming off into the night.
That was strange. Crazy. We have a dead boy in the silo. I think we may also have we may have more victims. So I start heading over toward the silo.
Okay.
Okay. I'm still kind of perplexed myself standing there. And
Miguel, come with me to the silo. There's a body of the boy in the silo.
You hear this, Wyatt?
Okay. I don't know what's going on, and I'm not going to be out alone here at the edge of the woods, so I'm going to head back with them.
Yeah, I set the fiddle down kind of reluctantly and step out. What's going on, Grant?
There is a boy here. I'm going to start digging out the grain with my hands, maybe waist high till I get to the boy.
The boy, I saw him run to the woods.
As the grain pours and runs off of the boy's body, you see the spitting image, the corpse-like visage of the boy buried beneath the grain.
I'll pull his legs up to me and then up into my arms, and then I'll
wade out.
Stiff as a board.
He is as stiff as a board. He's been dead for quite some time, probably a week or so. But his body has not decayed.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll walk out to Mikkel. The boy, do you see? And I kneel down and put him on the ground.
What the hell did you do? What? He was running for the.
That was not the boy, Mikkel.
And I take 2 steps back and look down. I haven't had, swear to you, I haven't had a drink since the man wouldn't share his stash.
Well, this is the boy. I don't know what is running free in the woods.
And I look to the woods and I look back down and I look up at you, Grant. And I fall down to my knees and to get a better look. And I kind of poke at the body Maybe
He's been dead
It's-
days.
The skin
How could-
is slightly malleable.
Yeah.
When you push on it, the dent, of course, does not come back.
Ugh.
But there's no smell of decay. There's no smell of putrefaction. He is, however, like I say, very stiff like a board.
And I'm
Any
looking
any
across him
wounds
now for any
that might
kind of
have killed
wounds.
him?
Yeah.
So what, say again? What was that? Wheelwright?
I was just saying, are there any visible wounds that might have
No.
killed him?
You don't see any. There's no marks around the neck.
Yeah.
No visible blood stain or anything like that on the boy's body. Bleeding through his clothes, you open up his shirt, no chest wounds, no lift up the flap, no back wounds around his kidneys or anything.
No, you
I
said
see.
there was. Oh, sorry for interrupting.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, you said that he had a wax seal or something on his
Well,
face.
his
so-
skin is very wax-like in
Waxen.
texture.
Oh, wax-like.
Waxy.
Okay.
Yeah, it's it's that kind of like translucent. Like if you ever look
That
at like a
pallor.
white candle,
Okay.
it's kind of got that semi-transparent yet solid flesh white color.
Okay. I'm gonna go. So while they're kind of talking about going over with the body here, can I walk into the house real quick and I want to see if there are any candles.
Okay. So
roll
you're
up.
reaching through. Okay.
Okay. Is it luck? Is that
Yeah.
what I'm rolling?
Go for a look.
13. Ooh.
You see two candles, yes, and both of them are the same pinkish kind of color.
Okay, but only the two, right?
Yeah.
As the
Um,
boy, same color as the boy.
No.
Oh!
Ones he
The
found
candles
earlier
are
in
the same
barn.
color.
The candles are
Okay.
the same color.
Oh.
So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to take those two candles, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go out to the barn, and what I'll do is I'm going to try and snap them in half, and with a knife kind of just cut the wicks short in the middle, and then kind of carve out the wick on the bottom pieces out a little bit so that it's exposed. So I kind of have 4 candles.
Okay.
Mikhail, what is he doing? As I watch you walk in the dark back to the barn, to the house, to the barn,
Yeah.
I'm on
This
a
guy
knee.
comes out of the house with
Mikhail,
some
what is
candles.
Wyatt up to? And I'll stand.
I don't know. He moves around quite a bit.
Well, he appears to be up to something. I'll walk over toward the barn.
I'm still kind of on my knees looking out into the distance. Do I hear anything?
The slow chirping of crickets and the light
Okay.
evening breeze. It's getting
Okay.
on now to very much night.
Yeah. Is it the ambient lighting of the moon out, or
Yep.
okay.
It's a half moon, so it's not bright, but you can kind of see, not very far. And if you're carrying a torch or any source of light,
Okay.
once it gets to the edge of that light, pretty much you're light blind after that.
Yeah, I stand up and I look down and look over at Grant chasing Wyatt. Give up, boy. I've already looked. He don't have any.
I'll
No.
follow him into the barn. Wyatt, what is
Okay.
it? What are you about, Wyatt?
Okay, so as I'm going to do that, I'm going to kind of set the candles in the 4 corners. And then I'm going to go up and just say, excuse me, Grant, and then grab the torch and the sconce that I kind of put into the barn to light.
Yeah.
And then I'll go to each 4 of them and then light them.
Wait,
And then
wait.
I'll go over to Grant. I'll say, Grant, I need you to do something for me right now.
Don't you need blood, Wyatt?
No, what I want you to do, I want you to put that child's body back in the silo, and I need you to throw this in there with it. The only thing I know that can get rid of evil, as far as what I've been
I
told,
hope you know what
especially
you're
in
doing.
church, is fire.
All right, so I take the torch and I step up. Again, I'm 6 foot. I don't know how tall you are. I hope you know
I'm
what
not
you
very
were doing.
tall.
So,
Maybe
I'll look down at him.
5'2", maybe.
Wyatt, I hope you know what you're doing. And I turn on my heel and head out across to the silo with the torch. Mikhail, the boy's body, into the silo with it.
Wheelwright, as you're making your way, who's taking the boy's body to the silo?
Well, the body's still on the ground out front of
Body-
the silo with
okay.
Mikhail leaning over it, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm
just
walking
about-
back toward him, barking.
Okay.
Yeah.
with a torch in your hand, and I'd say, immediately connect the dots. Put him in the silo? Is that what you
Yes.
say? What do you plan to do, Grant?
And as I get closer at a normal tone, Wyatt believes that we must destroy the boy. We need to burn the silo and the boy. The body, I mean, the body.
But the hops.
Damn
They
it,
don't
man.
rest-
There are no hops.
I lean down and look down at the boy.
Roll
Start
intuition.
Reaching my arms underneath him.
This is going to be a tough roll.
Okay. I rolled a 7.
Okay. All right. You're looking at the boy. I mean, he looks like he's a corpse.
Yeah, I pick him up. Maybe it's for the best, boy.
Okay.
Wyatt believes
Okay.
this will end the danger, the evil.
So,
What danger?
Wow, you did not see what
Burn
we
the
saw.
boy and the hops, and I wish to be over with this. I don't throw the boy, but I make a gesture like that, and I start
Okay,
walking
so-
as I pick him up.
okay, so Brian, just talking to you as the DM. So me as the character, I'm taking kind of this thing at its word that it just needed this to feed, so to be free. But
Sure.
I want to see if I can kind of make an intelligence check to see if maybe Wyatt can figure out, wait a minute, there's a dead boy. It has the visage or looked like the boy. And this is clearly blood. So was this blood bled out and then this thing took his form? So if I cut myself, is it going to just take over my form and I'm just going to die here?
Oh, that's putting a lot of
I don't know. Like, I'm just
tough
kind of thinking
roll.
it in my
I
head.
mean,
I'm like, wait a
that's-
minute.
You could attempt to go for a high hard.
Okay, because I'm thinking, I don't know. I think Wyatt's going to try
Yeah,
and take, because for me, he's kind of
unfortunately,
naive, but I'm like, I think like he is kind of bright, but he doesn't know enough. I'm like,
none of you come from a necessarily priestly or
No.
scholarly or that kind of a background. I mean, it would be a high, like I say, it would be in the hard spectrum,
let
but it's
fate
going to be
decide.
a high roll would be needed.
Okay, did you
off
want to
of mind
mind?
first?
I rolled a 20.
Are you kidding me?
No shit.
Nice.
I rolled a
Okay.
20.
He's happy.
20. I couldn't believe it. I said, let's let fate decide. I was
Okay.
totally expecting a 1.
So,
But-
I mean, you're thinking about this, and your rationale sounds to you. It sounds very logical.
Yeah.
Now I want you to make the same roll with spirit.
Okay. 12 plus 1 is 13.
Your intuition, though, is telling you that there's something missing here. That it can't be this simple. Remember, and your mind snaps to that piece of paper.
There's got to be like an incantation or something for it. Or something has to be written. This isn't going to work.
There's still
Look,
no
Marcel, deposit
there's
the
still-
body in the silo. It is
There's-
just a dead boy.
there's still no sign or sound that the farmer or the boy is in immediate sense returning.
This is
Okay.
folly. What can't we bury the boy with the shovel? It was shovel, the shite. Why burn the barley or hops? Why do this, Grant?
Oh, so you think we should burn the boy here?
Just bury him. You say
But we
yourself it's a
cannot.
dead
Wyatt,
boy.
Wyatt assures me that the burning of the boy is what will end this.
Wyatt, that
evil.
boy?
What are you
The-
saying, Mikkel?
The boy
Do
that
you
has.
know?
Do I know what? I know I hold a dead child. As stiff as a board. We have a shovel, we can do that. Why ruin this man's grain silo?
Yes. Then bring the boy to Wyatt, and we will bury him out back where he should have been buried to begin with. The farmer has much to answer for. To leave the boy's body in the silo.
Yes. All right. I turn around and start walking over there toward that. This makes much more sense. Much more sense.
Wyatt,
Okay. Yeah,
I
so I'll
call
kinda
for him as
step
we
out.
approach the barn, torch in hand. Wyatt, we are going to bury the boy in the back where he should be buried, and we will take it up with Burkus when he returns as to why he would not have buried this boy.
Yeah, well, I don't quite know what his intent is, but whatever I was going to do in the barn, I know it's not going to work. We don't have enough pieces to the puzzle yet to continue on. So,
Pieces to what puzzle?
well, what's
Yeah,
going
you two
on?
are driving me crazy.
Well, it's because you're sobering up.
Sobering up.
Trust us,
You
Miguel,
imagine
there
things
is-
too much.
There is some
Yeah.
mischief about here, as that boy was not right.
If it
and
were
this
not
boy lay
mischief, you
dead.
would make mischief out of it. Okay, I'm a little bit huffy right now, and I'm walking. I'll
I'll
plate it
grab
up
the
with the
shovel
boy.
with my
So,
free hand
grab
and follow
grab
him.
the shovel. There's two of them. Both of them
Okay.
dig.
So you're going to start digging, am I correct?
Yes,
Okay. Who's digging?
I will. I'll hand the torch to Mikkel. Here, take this. You can hold this, right?
Okay.
And
I
I'll
just
begin to
dropped the
dig.
body. All right. I dropped the body and grabbed the torch. There, I'll hold the torch.
Damn, man, have some respect for the poor wretch.
Well, don't
And
hand me
I'll,
a damn torch when I'm holding a dead body.
I start to
Okay.
dig.
Wheelwright is digging.
Okay.
You're holding the torch. Wyatt.
I'm just like, I don't know exactly what to do at this point. I'm like, we don't have enough pieces to know what's going on here. The only thing I would say before we even do anything at this point, maybe we should wait to see if the farmer does come back. I have a feeling that child probably isn't.
If farmer does it, we've got an extra bed for the night. He'll be
The
back in the
child
morning.
probably isn't what, Wyatt? What are you saying?
Well, it's not a child. If
This
body
boy that
is-
we're about to put in the ground is indeed a boy. Yes.
I
well,
need
no,
a
this
drink.
was the
Oh, the other one. I got you.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know what you two carry on about. Dig. Put your backs into it. Let's bury the child and get some rest.
Yeah. I
drink.
wipe the sweat, mud from my brow.
Okay.
We can
so,
still talk to the
glad
Burkus,
when we get back
but
to
I will
Bridgewater.
bury this boy,
or whatever his name is.
and I'll continue to bury. I'll continue to dig the hole.
Okay. So digging the grave. After that, there's no other activity the rest of the night. You are going to bed down.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that we're going to draw this part to a close. If that's your intention, is to dig the grave, bury the boy,
Yeah.
call it a night, and then
say
go on.
and say a few words over the boy,
Okay.
best I can from things I remember priests saying over other graves,
Okay.
We let
Uh,
Wyatt stay up and watch for their returns. if he's
and
concerned about it.
and then angry will look up into the sky after I say a few words, and then down at Wyatt and Mikkel. That the farmer will answer for this.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So other than that, Wyatt, you're gonna wait up, you're gonna do anything else?
Yeah, the only thing that I could think of. So we've buried the child's body, right? And he's kind of said a somewhat prayer or last words or last rites to the boy. And I'll probably just whisper that under my breath too. May whatever pagan ritual was done to you, may God, I don't know the deity in this one, but I'll say may God forgive you and show you to your final rest.
Well, you do know that Dredgewater and its area is kind of a pagan / pre-Christiana type of area.
Okay.
So it's, just slowly starting the waters are kind of mingling a bit.
Yeah. So it's probably just a lot of halves right now, right?
Yeah.
Because Okay. With that, what I'll end up doing is I'll try to kind of stay up. I'll kind of turn down the light over at the barn to make it look like that it's quiet and let them go to the farm, go to the house, because they're obviously going to go to the farmhouse.
Okay.
And maybe what I'll do is I'll kind of just wait up. Looking at the silo at the very top, is it very shoddy? Am I no, that thing's going to collapse if I'm up at the very top?
It's not going to collapse, but I mean, it's definitely, the area where the thatching has been damaged and has fallen through and been removed is going to have to be replaced eventually.
Okay.
So it'll have to be rethickened.
Okay. Well, maybe what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and I'll kind of just sit in the loft of the barn and kind of just move the thatching a little bit so I can see towards the forest and see if I can see any kind of movement and try and kind of stay awake as long as I can. See if anything comes
Give it a
back.
body roll. If you're trying to intend to stay up, past exertion, we'll make it an average roll.
You're gonna call me a liar. It's a 20.
Nice.
So you're wide awake.
kid has been spooked. He
Yeah.
ain't sleeping.
Yeah,
tonight.
I mean, something has definitely gotten you unsettled. So
Yeah.
you see the farmer and the boy come walking back slowly down the hill early morning.
Okay. So with that, I'll
very much as the sun is coming up and a low mist hugs the ground.
Okay, so with that, I'll kind of slip out of the loft and kind of make my way to the house and try and see if I can wake up the other two, just kind of like by knocking.
Okay. So,
I've been laying there awake all night because Mikkel snores like a son of a.
And I have. What is it? What is it? Okay.
He's the only one that's
not even
slept.
in a good humor unless I've got a buzz
So-
to deal with y'all.
as you are you trying to move towards the residence like under kind of concealment? Are you trying to be unobvious?
Yeah, I'm trying to kind of
Yeah.
like make sure I'm not seen.
So you're kind of keeping yourself out of sight. Give me let's roll luck. So as you're kind of like trying to remain hidden,
7.
7.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't hear any words said because the distance is too far away, and you're trying to keep yourself in motion around the corner of the building. But just as you're going around the corner of the building, you just catch a glimpse of the farmer and the boy. They stop, 20, 30 yards away from the house. He kind of, with one hand, gives the boy a rough one-handed shake and points back at the woods, and the boy takes off, and the farmer continues walking towards the house.
Okay, so with that, I'll just run to get behind the house to still be out of sight of
Okay.
him.
This
I'm
is
just
like
kind of knocking on the boards and trying to do anything
Okay.
to kind of wake them up. Just slap the side of the
So
house.
you hear the rumbling off of the shutters from the back of the house,
What the
back of the
hell is
building.
that? I
What is
sit
it?
up.
Damn it.
It's me. The farmer's coming back. He ordered the boy back to the forest.
What?
So
I told you they'd be
I'll
back.
jump up and take 2 steps over to get against the wall where the door will come open, and I'll draw my sword quietly, and I'll tell Mikkel, sit there.
And so with
Okay,
that, what I'll
I'm
do from
blinking,
behind
I'm
the
walking
house. Yeah.
To get some
And then from behind the
forage.
house, I'm going to just strap on my shield and kind of get my
Okay.
spear ready. And I'm going to kind of go around the house and wait for him to kind of go in. And then I'm going to come in behind him.
Okay.
While they're trying to ambush, I'm just walking over there getting some porridge and looking at him. And you can tell my eyes are all red and everything, like I haven't got much sleep.
The porridge in the pot is still warm.
Okay, I touch it and then I kind of. Okay, I take it up and set it over and pour some into a bowl.
Okay.
And
The door at the
grumbling.
front of the room opens, and you see the farmer standing there.
I look up at him and. Hey, farmer,
He
I told
pulls
him
out
you'd
his-
be back.
He pulls out his pipe, packs a little bit of tobacco, and lights it. Where's that fiddle?
The fiddle, I make a gesture toward the door where I'd kind of haphazardly kind of set it down to the side, almost threw it down to the side before I went up to silo.
Okay.
So it'd
He
be-
makes his way
it's
directly
right.
to it, grabs it, and picks it up.
And I level my sword as he passes. I level my sword to rest right at the back of his neck. All right, Burkus, have a seat.
He kind of
I look at him and
looks at you, and he slowly starts to walk towards the table.
You're going to
And he
answer
sits
some
down.
questions, Burkus or Burkert or Burkos or
calm
whatever you call
down,
yourself.
Grant. You got a tobacco man.
Do you not remember the dead boy? How quickly you forget, Mikhail. This man is responsible for a boy being left in the silo. What of it,
up.
Burkus?
So what I'll do is I'll just stand at the kind of in the frame of the door with my spear in one hand, the shield out in
Okay.
the other, and kind of look at him kind of intimidatingly.
What? Burkus, you will answer. I'll just let this blade like rest on his,
He
know,
lost
under
his
chin.
boy.
He sets the pipe down on the table.
Come now, Burkus. You've left a boy
points-
dead in your silo.
He
Another
points,
boy hides in the woods.
He points over towards where his sleeping pallet is, and he says, "You'll need to get the music."
Mikhail, I nod I look at Mikhail and nod to get the music.
You finished my damn breakfast yet? And I stand up gruffly and kind of push the thing back and stomp over there. Is this what you want? And then I roughly just
I
throw the
stick my
fiddle.
sword. I stick my sword, but do not give him that music. You're gonna tell me what you need this music for, Burkus.
So there's 3 sheets of paper
Bro.
that he pulls out from underneath the pallet. They're very small. They have lines written across them and the demarcations of what notes would be played. They're all 3 the same thing. They're just 3 copies of the same sheet.
Is one of them missing a corner?
No.
Okay.
You're not in there.
Me? Yeah.
He's
you
standing.
came in?
Yeah, I'm standing
both?
right at the door frame.
Yeah, he's standing at the door frame.
Oh, okay. I didn't catch that.
I'll take a close look at the parchment and fumble
So when he
in
does,
and
yeah,
pull
so
out
when
the
he,
little piece of paper. Wyatt, does this match that paper?
okay, and I'll kind of step behind him, set the spear down, take the 2 sheets. Do they look the same?
It's the same type of paper, yes.
Yeah, the papers are similar.
What is it? What is going on here, Burkus?
I'll kind of put them under
He
my belt.
looks down at his pipe and he says, "The farm was failing. Failing. The Baron asked too much. He asked for gold, and that's a copper, and he wants more grain every year and less for us. So some of us have to sacrifice."
So you sacrificed the boy?
In a way, you could say that, yeah. He
I don't-
sleeps.
What?
He's not dead. He sleeps.
What?
Well, with that, my eyes grow large. What do you mean he sleeps?
He looks up at you and he goes, "Sleeps. He looks dead, but he's still breathing. You can't tell because it's so shallow. He doesn't even move. He's been like that for weeks now."
Christ, man.
What is this, man? What do you say? And I stand up.
He looks at you. He looks at Mikhail and he goes, "Well, it would have gone a lot better had you not grabbed my fiddle and broke it."
What you damn fiddle? What does this have to do with it?
He looks at the music and he says, "It's the only thing that keeps the Hobbs entertained. It's the only thing that keeps the Hobbs calm." Do you
What are you
understand?
talking about, man? This is. But we buried the boy outside.
His eyes get wide. You buried the boy.
He was dead in the grain, in the barley, in the hops, outside in the.
He looks up at you, wheelwright, then he looks over at Wyatt and he says, "You buried him in the ground."
Of
Well, of course,
man.
where would you bury him?
Of course, he is where he should
He
be.
throws his head down on the table and begins to wail. No.
I
Starts
The
crying and
man's going
sobbing.
mad.
And he goes, "You've done far worse than anything I ever could. I didn't kill the boy."
I sheath my sword. I'll grab him by the shoulders, maybe smack him and shake him. Burkus, regardless of that, we have to deal with this Hobbs. How do we kill it?
Well,
What the hell are you talking
he's-
about, Grant?
he says that you've got to burn the music while the Hobbs dances in the square.
To kill the Hobbs?
It won't kill it. It'll just placate it enough to where if you've got to fight it, it won't be as strong. But when you're only one person, you can't fight and fiddle at the same time. It's like a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest,
Damn. All right, Mikkel, you help the old man fix the fiddle. Wyatt, you prepare to burn it. I will dig the boy up and then
You
go
got
to the woods.
burn the music,
Right.
not the fiddle.
No. Mikkel, you fix the fiddle.
Somebody's got to dig the boy up and check.
I'm going to dig the boy up. Mikkel, you fix the fiddle. Wyatt,
The
you
boy's
prepare
already
to burn the music. And I
I
will go
sit
get...
down in the utter exhaustion of like my mind
He's-
reeling.
The farmer at this point is tore up from the floor up. He thinks the boy is dead.
Right.
I'm telling you, I need a
He
drink.
thinks that there's no way you're going to fix the fiddle. He thinks that there's no way you're going to get the hob to come back. And no way you're going to get him wrangled into the
If we
square.
play that fiddle, he'll come back.
I thought he said the damn hops. He didn't have any hops. Shh.
Wyatt, what are you doing?
I stand up and just walk out of the place.
Okay.
I need some air. I need some air. It's hot in there. It's hot as
Right.
hell in here.
Wyatt's really confused.
Okay.
Grant,
And-
Wyatt, can you fix that fiddle?
What? No. I don't build instruments. I can
Burkus,
fix
can
a,
you fix
I can
the
fix
fiddle?
a
Is it
house.
fixable?
I can build a silo. I can even help raise a barn. I can't build a fiddle.
It said the Burkitts says it is Burkitts. It's just whenever the Hobbs is around, sometimes I can't talk straight. I can try and fix the fiddle.
And get
But-
to it. Because if you fiddle, he'll come back.
Okay. He says, I'm gonna need help though.
What kind of help?
Just holding bits and pieces here.
Damn, oh yes, I will. So I
Okay,
sit
so,
down
well,
and grab
okay,
the
so-
fiddle.
So you're grabbing the fiddle. All right, who's gonna dig up? Were you gonna not dig up the boy?
No, this
You
is
were
what happened.
walking out. Go ahead, Mike.
I walked out, and after a minute, then it hits me about the boy, and I turn on my heel, and I walk back there and grab the shovel that we left off the side after burying
Okay.
him, and I'm starting to frantically dig him up, like I've lost my mind a little bit. Okay.
Okay. The
That's
farmer
what-
turns to you, Wyatt, and he says, "We'll need blood. So if you're a bleeder, that would help."
Oh, don't worry. We got something in mind. I'll just look at him and smile and then walk towards the barn.
You know, I'm the only one here who can really play the damn
Don't
thing.
worry, Burkus. You're safe.
Okay. So, Grant, go ahead and give me a D20 on mind as you help. It's going to be a tough roll.
Whoo, here we go. 15, even.
15 even.
Yep, I don't have a mind.
Okay. So it's together, you know, and between the two of you guys working on it, you're able to get the catgut restrung, enough of the bow put back together to actually function.
All right.
And you he explains to you while you're getting the fiddle fixed that he will need to play it while you get the hob into the square after it's been placated, but it may decide to fight, and it can put up a fight.
And I put my hand on the hilt of my sword. So can I. Let us begin.
Okay.
And as I step outside, I'll holler for Mikkel. Mikkel, Wyatt, prepare
What?
yourselves.
The boy, I've got to get to the boy. Frantically.
So you've been digging. They've been working on the fiddle during that time, Wyatt.
Okay. So I'm going to actually talk to the farmer and just be like, so how much blood exactly needs to be spilled? Are we talking like we need to bring a calf in here? Does it just need to be a little bit?
It just needs to be a sprinkling.
A sprinkling
We're
of blood?
talking like a couple spoonfuls. It doesn't
Okay.
really take much.
10 cc's, boy.
10 cc's. Okay.
Okay. And whereabout does it need to be sprayed?
It'll
And
need to be
when?
dropped in the square.
Okay. When? Like while you're playing the fiddle or at
While
any
we're
time?
playing the fiddle,
Okay. And where are you going to be standing?
we'll be in the barn.
Okay.
You're going to need to get it into the barn.
Okay. With you as well?
I'll already be in the barn.
Okay.
I've already been through this twice.
I'll say to the Burkus as I walk away toward the edge of the property where they ran off into the woods. What do you call this thing, this boy? What is its name?
Its name is Redcap.
Redcap. Will he answer to Redcap, Burkus?
Oh, he'll have to.
You're
He'll
muted,
have to.
Adele.
I am?
No, I'm not.
Oh, he's not muted.
I was
Oh.
mouthing the
He's probably got a
Oh.
gain on or something.
Okay.
I started
Okay.
using sign language.
It takes a couple of hours to go by and get all this stuff together and set up.
Have I
So-
retrieved that boy yet?
Oh yeah, you did that while we were fixing the fiddle.
Yeah, I'm pulling him out close to my breast and rocking back and forth and looking at him. Breathe, boy, breathe. I don't know if I'll go with the CPR yet, but I don't think so. You know,
Okay.
as far as that, I'm just shaking.
What does that look like in the Dark Ages, CP?
I know. Yeah, I know.
A little more violent.
You move
Yeah,
their, move their arms
fellows,
back and
I'm-
forth.
Yeah, I'm just
it's like a
punching the
pinch their
soul
feet.
back into the center of the body.
Yeah.
It's like a routine.
Okay.
I mean, I
Who
had
is
to
going
guess
to-
CPR doesn't do
Okay,
much
so-
now, much less then.
So I was gonna say, like, he was talking about there being like possibly a lamb or a sheep or anything like that. Is there anything like that out here?
You can hear the bleating of a sheep, like further down the hill off in the distance. Yeah.
Okay. Would I be able to get one of those at all?
You can
Or
wrangle one. Yeah.
okay. Okay, so I'll try and wrangle one, and that'll be my afternoon to try and get this thing so I can spill the blood inside the box.
Who is going to attempt to try and call the hob out of the woods?
I will.
Okay.
Yeah, once he begins to play, I will call to him. Redcap! Redcap, come back. We've got
Okay.
music for you.
Give me a fair spirit.
6.
Okay.
That's like very
For a while, he's not
Grr.
coming. You don't think he's coming. You can't. There's no sound coming from the woods, but far off down kind of the tree line a little bit, you do see a figure kind of step out, the same height as the boy, and it starts running towards you.
I step back, big smile on my face. Yes, yes, Redcap, come.
Okay.
What the hell is he doing?
Try another fair spirit roll.
4.
Okay. So he is basically charging you. You can see that he is just going to full on come at you. And as he's getting towards you, within like sight where you can see the details, you can see that his hands are kind of like elongated. The fingers are longer, the palm is longer.
The horror strikes me as he gets closer. I realize too late as I look for my sword that he's something else.
That
right?
he is definitely something else besides the boy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hand drops to the hilt.
So you're going to attempt to try and defend?
I don't know if I have time. Right? I mean, I may not know.
You see him. You see him.
Okay.
You see him running. I mean, he's making no.
Okay.
So you're calling out.
I will.
It's
I'll take 2 steps back and I'll try to lead him back to the barn, running toward the barn.
So you're okay. So you're going to turn tail and run.
I'm gonna try to get him to follow me to the barn. Come,
Make
Redcap! Come on!
Make an average body roll.
Oh, 17 plus 2, 19 on that one.
You're barrel. Okay. It's a chase. The red cap is, you can hear some chittering noise coming from behind you. It sounds kind of like a little bit of like a high pitched, gigglish kind of laugh, a little bit maniacal, a little bit on the edge. But it does definitely sound inhuman, not like human like laughter. You guys can begin to hear this in the barn, and the farmer just starts to lay in on the fiddle. and he goes, I hope that man can get him under control. And soon enough, you see Wheelwright
bust through the doors, and I'll slide to stop in the circle. I mean, in the square.
This time my eyes are like this because honestly, I had just come in there and said, what the hell are y'all doing looking at these candles and stuff? I've been literally almost clueless of what the hell was going on with this process. And
Literally, yes. You've been clueless the whole time.
Maybe if he was drunk, he'd understand what was going on.
And he's running through the door, but I'm coming in at this moment because I finally let the boy go.
Okay.
And say,
and so with that, I'm gonna
but he was dead. He was dead all along. I don't understand. And then he comes through the door.
Okay. And Wyatt, you were saying the door swings open.
Yeah,
comes in.
Stab the sheep or the goat or whatever I had actually done from
Is
the
it
hillside, bleeding all over the place as best as I can. Like you said, I had to go into like the little trails or something. Or the little
it has to go into the trough.
And
the farmer is screaming at you. It's got to go into the trough. And for God's sakes, make sure you tie the legs.
Okay. So
you don't want it running off.
I'm pretty sure he would have been yelling at me about that stuff before, right?
Yeah.
So just tie it up, cut its throat with the edge of my spear, have the candles going again.
Okay.
And then just try and get it into the trough as best as I can.
I'm what the hell is going on?
Outside the door of the barn, you can see the hob running full tilt at the doorway.
Okay. Getting one of the sheets of music ready.
Well, I've just turned to face it, standing on the square. Like I may have to, catch it.
Okay. And so the farmer as he can hear the laughter and the chittering getting closer, the farmer looks at you, Grant, and he says, you can't stop calling it. You've got to get a hold of it.
Redcap, come, Redcap.
Okay.
And I'm like prepared for it to hit me,
Another fair spirit check. Okay.
Two.
So
God.
Dang it. The hob just comes straight through the doorway, and the first thing it does is lash out at Mikhail.
Who's dumb? Who's standing there looking around?
Looking around.
He doesn't know what's going on.
I'm focused on you coming through there, and then in the middle of that thing, like you're gonna catch something. I'm like,
Redcap.
He's over there stabbing a freaking sheep, and old boy's sitting there. It's like a hoedown.
It's like a hoedown.
Like, what? I would be like, what the hell is going on? So
Okay, so unfortunately for me, that D20 roll is 9. It's not even going to be close. So you feel all of a sudden since you're kind of slightly turned to the side, you feel the brushing of cold wind past the back of your neck as this smell of rosemary, thyme, and flowers just fills the barn all of a sudden. And you can see over the corner of your shoulder this visage of the elongated version of the boy kind of stretched tall, and it's wearing a red cap. And its hands are elongated, just lashed out with its claws.
Seeing, right?
Yeah, this is what you're seeing right now. The farmer is backing away across the barn, screaming for someone to get its spirit under control. Otherwise, this is going to be a bloodbath.
Okay.
This is very surreal.
He said you had to burn the music too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to take, because I just took that roll of 3 sheets of music and put it in my belt. I'm going to take one of them out. And I don't know if am I supposed to start burning it now? I'm going to look at the farmer and be like, am I burning it now?
Okay.
Answer quick, you pagan.
Right. And I'm going, Redcap.
My nostrils are flaring from the smash from horse shit to the rosemary and thyme.
So
and I close my eyes like it's blissful, just to escape this insanity for a second. Then I open my eyes and see elongating into a red cap.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what's
So the
wrong.
attack was directed at Mikael.
Yeah.
So are you going to retaliate?
No.
Okay, so you're screaming out, "Do I burn the paper now? Do I burn the
Yeah.
paper now?" The farmer shouts, "No, he's got to get into the square first." So he's trying to get around the backside. Wheelwright is calling out, "Red cap, red cap." Now it's going to be, since this is the third attempt to try and get it under control, it's going to go from fair to average now.
Oh, damn.
Just roll high, Jason.
I'm trying,
Just
man.
roll.
Lord, here we go.
Big numbers. Big.
14? 14?
Okay, so you're calling out red cap, red cap. Your arms are open as it turns and looks at you, and then kind of like sideways walks into the square. Its head's kind of tilted to the side. The cap, you now realize, is actually part of its head, even though it looks like a hat.
Right.
And its head is tilted to the side. It has this very strange kind of like look of fascination, and it begins to kind of hold out its arms as if it's about to hug you.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I'll slowly draw my sword as I say, red cap, come, red cap, and I'll
Okay.
as he reaches to embrace me, I'll have the tip of that sword right in its ribs, ready
Okay.
to drive it.
Wyatt,
Yep.
anything?
Yeah, I'm gonna burn the sheet of music.
Okay. The farmer is playing his heart out at this point. Dell?
Now,
I'm sorry.
Mikhail is having a little
Mikhail?
bit of a psychic break because I'm looking at this and it's running in, and I just start kind of crying, halfway laughing as I turn around and look at him playing this fiddle music, and I just start, whoa, what? And clapping my hand and kind of jumping along, and I'll jump into the circle and throw my hands about and start dancing wildly
Okay,
around.
go ahead and make a spirit roll to resist the effect that he is actually putting on you at this point in time. Thank you for narrating into that. Is going to be an average test, mid-average.
13.
13?
Yeah.
All right, so you're about to step into the square, and all of a sudden there's this split. The flowers go away, the smell of herbs disappear, and the flood and rush of manure and donkey pee begins to fill your nose, and you see that you're about ready to set foot inside this square. Just behind, as you're set foot, you're about ready to dance into the square.
Yeah. Wish I had some flower petals, but I do kind of snap out of it with the odor that hits
Yeah,
me.
it's starting now. It's starting to push. You can feel this grip of the unearthliness of this creature's influence, this charming like effect.
I look at the
it's had on
creature and with Grant holding it, and out of my peripheral, Grant, the farmer,
Mm-hmm.
Wyatt stabbing it, and I look at the candles, and so I just kind of run over there and grab the creature and kneel down on the other side of Grant to help him hold it down.
Okay. All right. So here's what we're going to do. It's going to be a total of who has spirit, first of all.
I do one.
So
And
one. Okay. So that's 2. We're also going to include all 4 of you as a modifier for this ritual. So that's a bonus of 6. This is going to be a hard roll. And someone with spirit will need to actually make the roll because you are the one who is going to be acting as the anchor.
Ooh.
So between Wyatt and Mikael, who is going to make the roll?
Okay. You want to do it, Wyatt?
I'm gonna give it to Miguel.
Okay.
Yeah, Miguel.
So you can all begin to see that there is this slow roll of mist that's kind of rolling in from this early morning, and it creeps around everywhere except for the square. As Mikael is holding on to the feet of the red cap, and Grant has the sword positioned, you're burning the paper. You can begin to, Mikael, feel this opening just inside. There's this calling to you. It feels very natural almost. So go ahead and give the D20 roll.
Okay, I throw my head back and issue a groaning howl and roll. Ooh, yeah, that's 16 plus 6.
16 plus 6. Okay.
Yeah, that's 22.
So that's going to be, yep, for 22. So the red cap, well, I don't know. You tell me what happens.
The red cap, when I had a hold of his ankles, I can feel his ankles start shriveling a little bit and jerking and shuddering and sliding back and forth in the dirt and almost spasming back and forth in odd, unearthly angles.
The farmer's fiddle gets even more violent and aggressive.
His arms thrashing out and it's elongating and it's, it starts to slap the ground. And as it does, it feels like it's heating up, but I hold on tighter. And my hands starts to go into the flesh and it gets a little bit more plasticine like the boys waxing like that. And it starts to slip in there as it gets hot, like hot wax. And it has that feeling of it. There's
this unearthly wailing coming from the red cap as he begins to melt and implode all over the place, and he blows up right in the face of Grant and myself. Just covers us with this sticky ichor. All right.
And my sword just hanging there as I had a hand out covered in this stuff. Is it done? And I'm yelling over the fiddler. Is it done?
The music comes to a screeching halt, and you can see that the farmer has been crying so hard. His eyes are just flame red and swelled.
I'm still wailing and howling.
The ichor actually, as soon as it makes contact and starts to cool down, begins to stiffen up as if it were wax.
Cool.
Okay.
I got a little bit on my shield.
My mouth is open.
I'll slide the sword into my scabbard and look at Wyatt and Mikhail.
Are you just like covered in wax?
Yeah. It's like
the whole front is like
dry.
Yeah, that's why I'm like,
dry.
there's a little on my shield.
Right.
How you guys doing? Yeah.
And I'll look at them with this kind of wax face break and crack as I speak. The boy we must check on the boy.
The boy's dead.
He cannot be.
I'm just gonna push Mikhail like out of the way.
door.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go to the
I
body
follow
where he's been dug up.
Wyatt out to the boy.
I start spitting over and then I fall over in a heap tiredly on the side, exhausted, and in crying almost. All right.
Okay, as they run out, the
I
farmer
roll over
says,
on my back and I'm looking out that hole in the thatch.
the farmer says, as he drops the fiddle down to the ground, and he's still got the bow in his hand. He says, "There's always one place thieves never look." And he points up. And you're looking up through the rafters, and just at the height up there, you think you can make out the glint of glass. He said, "You've been looking for something to drink, and so have I. So I had to put it up high.
I start reaching up for it.
You're going to have to climb."
I know, and
So
it feels like my arm is elongating up toward it.
So you guys run. You come around the place where he had dropped the boy on the ground, and you can see that he's gone limp, and just very lightly, the color has returned to his face. You can tell that he is actually breathing. There is some movement in the chest.
I'll slide to my knees next to the boy, next to Wyatt, and I'll slap his face and pick his hand up and make a fist out of his hand. "Wake, boy!" I'll smack and move his head about. "Wyatt, is the boy going to live?"
It looks like it. He's breathing. His color's returning.
So I'll try to set him up and hold him, kind of moving his head about, smacking him, trying to get him to come around. "I won't believe it until he cries for his uncle."
It takes a while. After it's about 30 minutes or so, 40 minutes or so, and then he starts to kind of revive. He's coughing. He coughs up some dirt. after having been buried, he
Yeah.
coughs up, and just he's very
Sorry
groggy, doesn't know
about
where
that,
he
boy.
is.
Sorry
Where am
about
I?
that. I'll wipe the muddy dirt off his face. I'm sorry about that, boy.
During that time, I had set up straight after I focused on that bottle like that, and I set up straight, and my head will constantly pivot and rotate with the eyes fixated on the bottle as I'm climbing up.
Okay.
And I'll get up on the rafters and get it. And then by the
Yeah.
time that 30, 40 minutes, I've already
Yeah.
down most of that in the hayloft up top.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
really
need a
playing.
drink.
Yeah, really playing that alcoholic flaw, where there's no flaws in this game. That's great. Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah,
Okay.
Nice.
Gotta have a hobby.
yeah. Okay. So we're standing there, seeing the boy starting to breathe again. I'm gonna take a quick look around. Is the farmer like near the barn or anything?
He's
like
exhausted. I mean, he's laying down on the ground.
All
The
right.
fiddle is out of his hands. He's laying in the hay. He just can't, like, he's completely drained, and he does look like he's aged a year or two
that? Okay.
in the time that this has all been going on.
So
His hair is
paganism.
straight out.
Okay. No, is paganism? Is it like with the setting? I can't remember. Is it? It's not supposed to be practiced, or is it kind of shared in this world?
It's
Little
very,
both.
this is a very early. I mean, it's
Okay.
you get the feeling that out here in the countryside where there's
Yeah.
no cross.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be up to the kings and the barons.
And-
Yeah, because I was going to say, should we present this man to the Baron because he's using pagan magic in order to, to increase his what do you call it? What is it when you're giving something to a Baron? Is it a no,
a
tithe?
or tax. He's just
Tax
tax or
whatever.
a tithe or
Yeah,
Mhm.
but I guess if it's not illegal, it's not going to be a big deal. They're going to be what of it? Who cares? The people practice this stuff for generations.
No, but we've witnessed this, and this man's already been through hell.
Mhm.
I mean, not that you could decide for what I'm saying. It's just slurred, but
I believe-
Yeah, whatever, Miguel. We're good.
I believe, Wyatt, the old man has learned his lesson. He will have to create greater crop yields the old-fashioned way
Okay.
with hard work.
like you would know.
So in your conversations with the old man, what you can make out is that both he and the boy agreed to the conditions that the Hob presented. But the
Okay.
old man didn't know that the Hob would take advantage of the agreement
Mm-hmm.
and start taking over the farm. And
Okay.
that's when he explains that he sabotaged the roof, that he did that so that someone would come.
Okay.
It's a cry for help. Yeah. That's good.
That is a lesson hard learned, is it not, Burgess? Burkus.
It's Burkitts. And yes, yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ah.
So
Now,
is this where we get paid, Grant?
I look at Wyatt and Mikhail. Well, I'm assuming now that we have rectified this problem, the Baron may well pay us. We will have to go back to the Baron.
I roll my eyes at that. Uh-huh.
If we can also take him the stories of us ending these killers of the bastards, we might get much from the Baron.
Well, we have to, I suppose right now that we can go back and tell the Baron where the bodies are piled and let him know. But as far as this farmer, he's been through enough. He's been through enough, and I think he's learned his lesson. And then I take another swig and stretch. This is nighttime, right? Or is it
No.
morning?
No,
This morning.
This is morning. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm preparing to head out myself.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't worry, Del. Your drinking is still inappropriate. That's fine. Yeah. No. Or Miguel. Sorry. Yeah.
Mikhail.
Yeah. Or
I'll
Mitchell.
give away my
Sorry.
secrets.
Yeah.
Mikhail.
Miguel.
Miguel.
So The Baron may be sending men around to talk to you, Burkus, about this. My advice is that you tell them the truth of everything that has occurred here.
Says that he and his nephew may or may not be here when they come.
Where do you plan to go, Burkus? You are not a free man.
He says, I can't stay here. If I stay here, others will come.
Others who?
He flicks a piece of wax off of his, jerkin. And he says, you really don't believe all those stories are fake, do you?
But don't you have to call on these creatures? You've learned your lesson. You won't call on these creatures again.
He points out at the woods and he says, sometimes you don't have to call. Sometimes they just come. And some of them aren't as nearly as friendly as a redcap.
Then, Burkus, maybe we should help you with your disappearance. We burn the farm to the ground and tell them that the bandits did it, and you and the boy leave.
He looks at the boy and they both kind of shake their heads. We'd like to pack for the cart, though.
Pack it.
Okay.
And we will raise the farm. We will tell the Baron that the men who murdered the bastards must have murdered you and burned the farm.
He's got tears in his eyes, and he basically I can't thank you enough, and he gives you each a couple of copper, and he says, I wish there was a way for you to split it, but it's the only silver piece I have.
And I'll refrain from taking it, as I have a purse and I have a silver. You're gonna need it, old man, to start over with this boy. So I'll refuse my piece.
Okay, I'll take his. No. Yeah. No. I'll
I'm
say,
positive
yeah, I
mine.
can't. Yeah. I can't in good conscience actually take it. Not with what the duress that you're going through and the journey that's ahead of you. I can't do it.
He puts it back into his purse.
I appreciate
They
it.
commence to breaking up, stuff that they can pile into the cart. Definitely some provisions and some tools, some implements, a little bit of extra clothing, blankets, enough for a travel.
And then we'll organize the burning of everything simultaneous. I don't want to start burning and draw any attention until we can burn it all at the same time.
I do a double take at a certain point when I notice the boy helping him with the cart.
Yeah.
But
He's kind of weak, but I mean, he's like carrying like clothing, anything light. He's
but I
not
thought he
carrying
was
anything
dead.
heavy.
So,
No.
when I see that,
No, Mikhail, you're just don't worry about it. Have a nap.
It takes about a day for them to get everything together, and even by then, the boy's only really like at half speed.
yeah,
Still kind of in a daze. He still really doesn't talk very much.
I want to get this episode behind me as quick as possible. I'll take the money because that's real, and the liquor. But other than that, you can raise this farm. It'll be erased from my memory, and I'm on the road.
Okay.
Yeah. Even when I frame it as a story later on down the line, it'll be somebody else in replace of me.
Yeah, and then Wyatt and I will go around lighting all of the and raising the farm.
Yeah. I'm not going to do that myself. I'll be on a ridge looking elsewhere.
Surprise.
Trying to like Captain Morgan, trying to reframe, you know what I mean? Just looking back toward the direction of the town.
Did he roll that barrel all the way up the hill? And he didn't even know that help us with the fire.
He's sitting on it every few minutes, right? He rolls it and then he sits on it.
Singing "Roll Out the Barrel." Yeah. Yeah, but I'm looking toward the town like I can't wait to get back there.
Right. Once it's burning well, with just a hand wave to the old man as they cart off, I'll take a jog up to Mikkel on the rise as we prepare to head back to Dredgewater.
You said Dredgewater awaits. Yes, and the tavern.
Okay. So with that, I'd kind of like to go ahead and draw that part of it to a close.
Sweet.
That's
Okay.
excellent, man. Excellent.
Fantastic.
Awesome. That was great. I
And
kinda
that still leaves 2 prompts left.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we
So-
still have the bastards.
So that
to
was
deal,
one-
bastard killers.
That was
Random
only one.
seed?
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's
That was
fantastic.
pretty. That's pretty.
Well, that's what Dell and I found out in our
Yeah.
games. As he would knock one out, another would come. I mean, there were some sessions where Dell would do 3 or 4 random seeds in one session. Sometimes
Yeah.
one just went the whole way.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I did follow kind of like that same pattern that you guys were talking about. When I laid it out, I color coded them. So the ones at the edges, 3 through 5, 16 through 18 are green. Then the next 2 are yellow. Then the next 2 are orange. And the 2 in the middle are red.
Mm,
So
wow.
you've
Wow.
got,
So
2
you
in the
actually
orange.
weighted the middle to the
2
most
no.
dangerous?
no, you haven't done the most dangerous one.
Okay. I was going to
So-
say, ooh.
Yeah, Jason, you're still alive. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure we didn't do the most dangerous one.
Yeah. The most dangerous one has not been even touched yet.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And the sad part is we couldn't earn repute because no one can tell this tale.
No.
Because if we tell the tale, we burn this guy's barn down and let him go. And
Yeah.
he can't tell the tale because then
Well, he gets exposed as a peasant who
so we
abandoned his
could never
lord's
earn
land,
repute
right?
for this session. We could not
Yeah.
earn because they can't tell the tale of what we've done.
Well,
That was
with the epilogue to the tale, I kind of wanted to be as we're kind of like walking up the hill
Right.
to make our way back to town. I'm kind of like, how is that rabbit porridge? I didn't eat anything yesterday. I'm starving.
And Grant's thinking all this way and did all this, and we did not get paid, nor can we tell this tale, right? I mean, it's like it's like we just did that, and for what?
Yeah, Miguel will not
There's
be
no money.
engaged. He will
For
not be
what?
engaged in it. He'll be singing other songs or talking about other things, but it'll
Okay.
be like it's weird that I think in that character, the way the surrealness of everything that was happening,
Right.
and especially not being privy to some of the conversation and not knowing what's on. That's cool. That I like reacting off of. You know what I mean? Like if
Yeah.
I'm not there, I don't know what the crap you're talking about.
Right.
And a lot of your
Yeah.
theories, y'all were in the barn talking about that mess. I didn't see the candles or anything. I
No.
just come
I
in
know.
there and you're stabbing a freaking
Well,
sheep.
that's the beautiful thing about not metagaming, right? You just
Yeah.
gotta play from
You're
your
stabbing a
perspective, you know?
sheep and there's candles lit and you're hugging a little redhead and he's over there playing a fiddle like crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
What the
What
hell's
is
going on?
going
Yeah,
on here? And I
and
just dug up
You're
a
like, I
body.
like the world better when I'm drunk. It makes sense.
It
Yeah,
does.
but it was a total like weird. I'm weirded out. So it's like
Right.
I want to shut that part off.
Right.
In his
It makes you
mind.
wonder what happened to Mikkel in his past that turned him into a drunk,
Well,
yeah.
right?
yeah.
I
See,
mean,
I
there
wouldn't
could
say.
be something there. There could be
Yeah.
something there. Although some people, he could just be that he took to drinking.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
If he's, ribald enough,
Yeah.
in his
Well,
youth
I tried to illustrate earlier that he was getting more on a reverse side. That the more sober he is,
Yeah.
the
more
shorter
agitated.
fuse he has,
Sure.
and
Oh yeah.
and
yeah.
but I kind of conceived him as a little bit like he's not really a worker, same way Grant, and he's more of a bard. There, he gets by.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Just gets
Bull
by,
crapping.
yeah.
He's a snake oil salesman,
Yeah.
basically. And
Yeah.
Well, that was fantastic,
Over his
Brian.
head.
Absolutely fantastic.
bet.
Loved it. How did you like it?
Yeah.
Running it.
It's interesting. I'm trying not to look for traditional cues is what I was trying not to do. Not to, okay, roll initiative. Okay, here's where this happens.
Mhm.
Okay, this is coming next.
Mhm.
And mostly what I found kind of like unusual is like trying to initiate the okay, so I made the attack. Here I've done my roll. I
Mhm.
miss. I want to clarify. This is who it was intended to hit.
Right.
What are you going to do in response? Like when Dell starts narrating into more or less what seems to be like a fascination or
Mhm.
charm like effect. And
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, great. Go ahead and make a spirit roll.
yeah,
Looking for and trying to see where the opportunities are to just to engage
share the
system and
narration.
say, okay,
Yeah.
how can the system like kick in here to maybe change the direction? And
Well,
see if something
and
else will happen.
technically, again, it doesn't matter, but technically, we're supposed to make all the rolls.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you would have just announced this effect upon him, and he would have to roll to see if he beats it or vice versa. It doesn't matter. I mean, you can
Yeah.
make the roll, but so through that narration, you would have narrated how it's affecting him, and then you would have said you need to make a spirit check or make that spirit roll.
Yeah.
This is you're overwhelmed by this smell, et cetera, et cetera. Make a spirit check. He would have rolled it. If he fails, he would take the wound or the effect. If
Yeah.
Dell succeeds, you would then you would make sure he's aware that he has avoided it, but like you did with the smell and
Yeah.
the stench so nothing changed except the fact that you rolled it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And that's what's kind of weird is it's like, I feel like I'm doing nothing.
Yeah, and that's
I'm
the
just kind of
whole
sitting
reason.
here.
Well, see, and that's why we designed it this way, because we want the GM free to be a naive narrator and respond
On your
live
player.
to everybody in kind and not worry about rolling dice, but more importantly, worrying about setting a difficulty and calling upon the rolls as the players
Yeah.
say something that requires a roll.
And so
Yeah,
the first time, I mean, playing the PBTA did kind of help
Yeah,
spot some stuff,
right.
but there's still like that habit. I think
Right.
you and I talked about it in chat, or we did in the group one time, where you still have these habits where it's like they just come out naturally.
They do. Yeah,
because you've been
40
doing
years,
it for one
50
way
years.
for so long.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean, for the
But I
most
mean,
part,
even
I
I
love
think
it.
Justin's played Symborum. You don't make any rolls as GM in that. Now
No,
that's more
really.
traditional in that you will just talk informally. You'll
I used
talk
to have
formally,
some for 'em.
make a roll of your, So in Symborum, it's a very mechanical speak. You mechanically tell them make an attack roll or
Yeah.
Well,
But-
that's just it, because it still has the complexity of actually being a modern board game with
Yep.
stats, and
Yep.
that you have certain attacks that do a certain amount of damage, and
Yep.
there's rolling, and there's
Yep.
lots of rolling, and there's also chart rolls for treasure and stuff like that,
Yeah.
which you can leave to the players. But it's
And
nice
that's
to be.
fantastic. Totally.
But it's
fantastic.
awesome in that you don't need to focus on the rolling, and that it's player focused combat is what they call it. So it
Yep.
keeps all the players engaged.
Yeah.
When I say that this monster attacks you or goes for a lunging attack, roll to defend yourself. And it seems to be that pause of when players are kind of waiting for you to do your turn, where you're like, okay,
Yeah.
I'll roll for an attack.
Mhm.
Okay. And then the players are kind of like,
Yeah.
wait, but no, it keeps them engaged because it's like they're the ones rolling to dodge, to
Yeah.
lift up shields, to kind of
Yeah.
dodge out of the way. And I found that I
Yeah.
got my players a lot more engaged
Oh,
throughout
yeah.
the whole combat as a whole.
Yeah.
And I just need to worry about the narrative elements.
Yeah.
There's some stats I read off of in these blocks to give them the fixed damage. Like, yes,
Yeah.
you take 12 damage
Yeah.
because it hit you, and blah, blah, blah.
Well, I love it. That was my first time ever playing a game, and Symborum's fairly complicated. So it's not only is it
It
do
is.
they
It's
make all the
not-
rolls, but it's a pretty deep game, and I was liberated because like, wow, this is deep.
Yeah.
I'm
But
free trying to handle that deep without sweating
Yeah.
dice checks, etc. Right?
Well, I
I
mean,
think
yeah,
that's-
they've done a fantastic job. I mean, I've read a couple of the interviews with the authors, and
Yeah.
and like I said, that one and the Dark Eye are the two. I know it's
Yeah.
completely different, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Symborum was definitely one of the ones that I had the core book, and then I gave it away to a friend.
Yeah.
I had been through it once, and I never ran it and never played it.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, it just kind of came through my collection and then went out the door.
Yeah.
But I am kind of like circling around back to it because it is part of the Free League,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
family.
I ran it, I think, 4 times locally for the guys. Fantastic experience. Beautiful books.
Oh yeah,
Man, the lore. My biggest issue with it was it's thick in lore, and I like a little lore to give me some
yeah.
ground for. But there were times I felt like I don't know it well enough to really engage them in it.
It can make
And
it
they're
challenging.
not going to read it all. They can't read all this stuff.
Well, here's the thing, because the thing is with all lore,
Mhm.
it's only relevant to the characters.
That's right.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't
Right.
matter if there was a war
That's right.
2,000 years ago
That's
against
right.
the great undead Wraith King,
Exactly right.
Yeah.
or that there was a dragon that existed eons ago before
exactly
the world
right.
was whole. They're not going to remember any of that shit.
No.
They're just going to remember that they punched a drunk for gold,
Yeah, right.
like
Yeah,
the
that-
night
that's-
before, right? And
But
they
it's
thought
true.
it was funny.
Frodo
Yeah.
didn't know anything about the ring, but he
No.
was handed it and said,
No,
That's one major thing we focus with in this game, but
Yeah.
allowing the narrative and what the players care about and how they're imagining the things. Like what I think one of the most difficult things as far as habits of the role playing is people are used to rolling on their own to see if they achieve
Yeah.
something. This is literally all it is rolling one dice to see which turn the narrative takes.
Yeah.
It is nothing more, so it's just like how does it proceed?
Mhm.
And that narrative entanglement between the naive narrator and the players with the other players and the interaction. You've got to be totally constantly in the moment. For me to walk in there, and I was in the moment for when Brian was, when he said the smells hit me, I had to be there in the moment to say, okay, this is what I would do. Because I just walked in and seen some kind of a freak show. You know what I mean? And I go, I just wanted a
medieval
mental
hippie
break
barn
from
dance.
it. Yeah, a mental break from it. And then I just go and I wake up and see that. And I'm like, I just need to do something to save my sanity. So that's what the character that I'm in, that means something to me.
Yeah.
Not the overarching world, which is cool enough.
Yeah.
But in that moment, and then we were able to go back and forth. And that one single die roll will say, well, if it takes a bad turn or a good turn for you, or positive.
Yeah, and we want to liberate. We want to liberate the GM to not having to prep everything. And we want to liberate the player to declare what he wants to do or achieve. And then the GM just says, "Oh, sure. You want to kind of read whether this farmer's lying to you. Okay, make a nigh impossible check here of your mind." So Justin could have just said, "I think this guy's lying to me, Grant. He has said the wrong words 3 times." And the GM would have said, "Make a mind check there, Justin." And if you fail that, the GM just leaves you speculating. Doesn't have to say a thing. Just leaves you speculating.
Well, that's
you make it. The GM can confirm it. Indeed, this guy's he's hiding something, right?
Well, no, I love it's the DM cheat though too, where you're like, oh yeah, this guy's totally a spy, and then people are like, wait, is there like doppelgangers that are like assassins? And you're like, well, that's totally cooler. I'm stealing that, right?
See, in my mind, it could have been
of course that's what it is. Yeah.
Well, and there's parts of it, like when I was making the prompts, I mean, there's stuff that I have in my head.
Oh yeah.
When I was writing them
you can't not.
It's hard not to do, but and especially with this one, when you guys rolled the Hob, because right now I'm reading Vesset. And so that's what I'm supposed to run next weekend. And so that's all about the Fae. And
it's awesome.
A lot of the styles in which you deal with getting rid of them or appeasing them or how you treat them, they're kind of off the wall sometimes.
Oh yeah.
And so it is these odd things about, and I was like, well, and then another prompt, I wrote another prompt in there. And so some of the prompts I actually put hyperlinks to other random charts.
Right.
So if this prompt is rolled, here's the prompt, but follow this link to roll additional information once it starts.
Right.
So even though I have that prompt, I don't even know what's going to happen after that prompt starts.
That's right.
Because it just, it could say something like creepy location.
Right.
Okay. So here's a link to randomly roll on Chartopia or randomroll.org or Chaotic Shiny.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you hit that chart and roll and you go, oh, okay, here's this particular creepy location.
Right.
Yeah.
How do you feel about working things in and working off of, because it's kind of, to me, when I do it, it's like my mind's wide open. I'm not thinking about rule sets or anything more so than I love connecting the dots as they evolve, organically and be manifested right in a narrative. You're just like, oh, crap. There's moments where
working the various prompts in or working what the players interact with. And that,
well, it overlaps. I'm assuming
your
hanging bastard, the hanging victims of the bastard, or the hanging bastards. I'm assuming was an overlap of one of the, right?
Could be,
maybe, right? Or it's a meaningless detail.
Yeah. Oh, right.
Or it's something that normally happens during medieval times. You
right.
Come to an area and there's 3 people hanging from the tree.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Could
Are
be.
there bastards?
Right.
Sure.
Yeah.
You see,
maybe.
When I was this one moment when I was running Jason through, was doing a outer space thing, right? So he had taken this escape crew, this repair crew to go on the outside, and the ship had been attacked by these or pelted by these other smaller fighter ships, right? So he lands the crew because he was a pilot, and they get out and they're working on it, but they're taking too long. So he walks over to them and he's like, what's taking so long, right? Well, I had a moment welding the thing and stuff like that. And I just had the guy right off the tip of my, he holds up his hand and it's got some kind of mucus film on it. And he says, this is what we're having to deal with. And I think, oh crap. So then I'm thinking the alien acidic drop, right? And then it
Yeah.
just spirals into like
Yeah.
their spacesuits are popping open with the holes, and he's trying to catch them with the little thing and
Mhm.
reel them back in,
Mhm.
and they're losing oxygen and all this kind of crap. It just spiraled off in a whole different direction. I
Well,
didn't
yeah,
think
you get a spark that becomes something we have to deal with, a reaction. Then it's action, reaction, action,
Well,
reaction.
And if the group is working, cohesively really well together, and I know, I'm sure, Jason, if you've watched it, and I think, I don't know, are you in the RPG Techniques Consortium group, Justin?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Wait, what group?
The RPG Techniques
I
Consortium.
don't think he is, but
No.
Okay.
No.
So, well, from the improv, right? So we start with, what's the truth? Somebody
Right.
throws it out there. So the way I look at it is kind of like these prompts are like the monologue.
Yep. They are.
Roll to see what the monologue possibility is.
Mhm.
So we start throwing the monologue out there, and then all of a sudden somebody latches onto something from the monologue,
Mhm.
and they say, okay, well, this is true. So,
Mhm.
okay, let's run with it.
Yep.
If that's true, what else is true?
Right.
And then we
Yeah.
keep heightening on top of it and keep
Right.
filling it out.
Right.
And as more people begin to add in a perspective or a point of view or an interaction from a character, it then begins to solidify more. And because it grows by becoming more and more specific about what's going on. The more
Right.
details
Right.
you're adding to it,
Yeah.
the more specific it gets.
Exactly. And the only thing
Yeah.
we're doing different from the traditional improvisational monologue is we also have we're grounded in a context. Okay, it's the Dark Age. It's medieval. We're in this place now. Here's our monologue, improvisational monologue. So we're also couching it. It'd be the same as saying, okay, we're all cops at a New York precinct. Here's the monologue. Captain just got run over in the street by a drunk. Go, right?
Yeah.
So
that's the random roll prompt right there.
Yep.
It could be
Yeah.
that short.
Right. So it's just liberating the GM and the players to have a little more impact, more player agency.
Yeah.
There's-
I can feel it in my head, when I start to, when we're going through it and trying to, one, not control what's going on,
Mhm.
to step back away from it and let player interaction just happen.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And then, I can also feel it mentally is like, again, those old habits. Do I call for it here? Do I call for it there? Do I call for it there?
Yeah.
Right.
And there's a desire not to call too much.
Right.
I want to try and see, okay, identify a spot where, okay, that's definitely, let's make a roll on that one.
Yeah.
Well,
I think the amount of times you asked us to roll not only was right, but all of it made absolute sense. Yeah. There was never any redundancy or extraneous rolling. There was never ever that time where I thought, why didn't he ask me to make a roll for that? For me, the biggest challenge I have as a player is GMs not recognizing that I'm prompting an activity without me saying, I'd like to check a perception check here, see? And, I say something and I expect the GM to say, Jason, make a perception check.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? That's a perception check.
Well,
right?
that's just it. And you gotta not fall into that trap, especially when it comes into a narrative game where you're like, I'm gonna make an investigation check to look for traps.
Right.
It's like, well, I would prefer if you just said, well, I'm gonna hunker down onto the floor, look for any kind of tripwires, and then I'm
Bingo.
gonna get my club and I'm gonna just pat it to make sure there's no like pressure
it.
plates ahead of me. But we've kind of lost that with a lot of modern gaming
Oh,
where
it's
it's
so
all like,
true.
I'm checking for
definitely.
traps.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then
And
it's
you
just
can
like,
do that in
make a
D&D.
roll.
Summarized.
Yep.
That's
you
it.
can do that in D&D. You can do it in
Yeah.
this. You can do it in any game. But the
Yeah.
player, the GM has to recognize that's what the player's about, right?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I felt that maybe there should have been more roles called on me just because of some of the stuff I was kind of thinking of in my head. And the way that I have Wyatt in my head is like, yeah, he's a little bit naive, but he is smart because he survived basically a coup. Like within my head, I was like, well, he was scripted to be one of these shock troops to go into this other lord's lands to kind of take it over, and completely failed, completely got buggered, but he survived.
Right.
Not necessarily a deserter.
Right.
But he's not wise in the way of the world, so he doesn't know anything. But he can figure things out, and he's really smart, but he's not like he doesn't know what's going on. So I'm trying to play that level of a little naive, smart. And so he's like, yeah, this thing has fangs and black eyes. I have no idea what the hell that means. I just know it's not good.
Well, and I was imagining all of us, we had never seen anything like this before.
Yeah.
I mean, this was like, like I said, when it started, instantly as Grant, I'm thinking, I don't believe in Hobbes. This is nonsense. This is an incompetent farmer that's blaming fantasy.
You know,
For-
when
for
we're
his
vested
crops,
like
right?
this, nobody wants to
Yeah.
portray character, and they want to play the character honestly,
That's right.
especially at the
Yeah.
level of play that we're doing.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. Like I see
Yeah.
Justin
Yeah.
talking about it, I'm like, yeah. And when you interacting as a character, like you can't really understand where the other character's coming
That's
from.
right.
Like he's just a
Yeah.
drunk. You do this with people normally. Where in
Mhm.
my head, I'm thinking
Yeah.
like, there's reasons that he's doing this. And over a period of time, you get to know the guy, and
Sure.
you know, just like you do in real life, when you start
Yeah,
meeting
sure.
people and you go, what
Sure.
motivates this dude? What pulls him back?
Well, and
So
we're
that's
invested
still
even in the
alive.
NPCs. You know,
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
I'm invested in a relationship with Matthias, right?
Yeah.
I can imagine these two guys that have bumped into each other and probably had to work together at times, you know, and there's this kind of, you know, yeah, I mean, it was-
Jocular,
yeah.
you know, soldierly kind of.
right. And
you know,
and of course, as the freeman, Grant, who really doesn't have a particular job, but at the same time, Matthias has a little control at the gate, right? There's a
Mhm.
sense that he's got control. Grant would like to walk up and say, I want to see the Baron, please, but he knows, you know, it was fun, you know.
Yeah, you
I
may
know,
be a
that was
free man,
hilarious,
but I
man.
still have
Yeah.
orders to obey.
Right,
Yeah.
You know.
exactly. No, it was awesome, man. It was fantastic. Justin, did you
Yeah.
like it? For the
I
most
did.
part?
I had a lot of fun. So
Okay.
yeah,
Well,
it's
thank you for joining in. I appreciate it
Yeah.
having the third player in it.
Yeah.
It actually adds more. I mean, we played 2, 3
Yeah, 3.
sessions of Forbidden Lands, so
Mhm.
Yeah, those were
It-
fantastic.
the
Oh,
duos can be challenging
Mhm.
because it's like you don't want to throw too much at two
Right.
people.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So it's this is kind of like a good size. That's why I was like,
Yeah.
okay, no more than 4
Yeah.
players.
Yeah, for me
Yeah.
online, 3 and 4, 3 is a sweet spot online for me.
Pretty
Love
good.
it.
Yeah.
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 Especially if
Especially
you're
for
doing
screen real estate.
Yeah.
yeah,
exactly.
well, screen real estate, and I find even with narrative play,
Here
because
it
you'll
is.
have a lot of people who are trying to tell a story, and it's just
Yeah.
like, okay, sometimes it gets a little bit too long because a
Right.
person's
Yeah.
taken
And that's-
10, 15 minutes. And I'm
Right.
like,
Yeah, that's it's kind of a new thing, right? The social etiquette
Yeah.
of playing online. It's definitely a different part of
Mhm.
the gaming culture. Like, because I know sometimes there's problems with technology, right?
Mhm.
yeah.
Because today, it's been a while since I've played, but I noticed that like even when we were kind of all somewhat talking
Mhm.
at the same time, my speaker wasn't that choppy. I could make out pretty much what I think there may have been 2 times where I didn't hear a word get said.
Mhm.
I could see someone's mouth moving. So, you know, it's that kind of, it is letting that distance as far as like, I know I can see you and I can kind of see when somebody's getting ready to say something and I can
Right,
kind of see when
right.
somebody's standing back and
Right.
like when I saw Dell down in the corner going, you know,
Yeah.
and because I'm looking right here at the center of my screen is what I'm actually doing. I'm looking right in
Yeah.
the middle so that if I see any kind of like hand wave or signal from somebody's box,
Right.
I know, okay, I need to look down here to see if they want to jump in.
Right.
And I feel weird, kind of like, okay, I was pointing because I was like, okay, now you go, then you go, and nobody can tell where I'm pointing.
Well, that's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like an orchestra.
Where,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, you go.
yeah, exactly.
like-
Point at the camera, yeah, you go.
Yeah.
But it's like I'm sitting. Was trying to treat it like I'm actually sitting at the table
Right.
by putting my hand in front of
Yeah.
Justin's box or in front
Yeah.
of Dell's box and saying,
Yeah.
okay, this is where I got to.
Well, I pretty much knew, when you're really engaged, I knew exactly where you were going next. There's definitely a rhythm and a pace to the game. I knew who you were going to talk to next.
Yeah.
There's just a natural kind of order of things. I never once was confused by who you were talking to or, yeah. So I think that's the engagement.
takes a lot of that takes a lot of practice to kind of like get figured out.
Mhm.
I mean, even for in-person games,
Right.
you know, because it's we always talk about moving the spotlight, and this is just like
Mhm.
when we're playing a short frame of time. It's like, okay, he's getting kind of quiet. He's talking a little bit more. Okay, so let's get back over here. You two guys went outside. Now what's going on with you? So
Right.
while you're doing this and you are
Yep.
doing, you know, you've got to
Yep.
really, as far as like this end of it goes, you have to be that transition.
Oh gosh, yeah.
You know, you've got to learn
Yeah.
to, how do you bridge the gap on what's going out there? Okay, so
Right.
he's running towards the barn, he's screaming inside, they're running towards the forest. You know, who hears what? You know,
That's right.
and sometimes it doesn't really need a role because you can kind
No.
of imagine that certain things going on, everybody should be able to hear it.
Oh yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
unless,
Yeah.
you know, you're
Yeah.
digging in a mine and making so much noise you can't hear what's going on.
Right. Right. Exactly.
Nice.
Oh, he's got his background figured
I'm gonna
out.
try and see if I can get it. This is what I was trying to get out.
Nice.
I figured that would have been appropriate, but no, I'm just
Kinda
goofing
flipped
around,
over there.
guys.
No, that's all right. man.
Yeah,
Well, man, I'm telling you, Brian, that was fantastic. That
Oh, I
was
Yeah, I
appreciate it.
had a
great.
blast, man.
yeah,
Uh,
had a
Really
good
glad
time.
to do that.
Yeah,
Good time.
and I hope we do it again. That was great.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
if anything else, like you know, I like I said, I definitely had the 2 prompts. So
Oh yeah,
at least if I can get 3 at bats on this one, at least I'm par for the course for Forbidden Land. So
yeah.
you know,
dude. Yeah, anytime, man. We just got to
Okay.
we just do it. I mean, we're pretty consistent about having some time on the weekend. So
Yeah.
cool.
yeah, I mean, it's sweet. So
Yeah,
thank you, guys.
Anytime.
Anyways,
I'm,
Appreciate
I'm
take
an
care,
hour.
everyone.
I'm an hour and a half late.
Yeah,
An hour and a
ooh,
half late.
God almighty, man.
yikes.
I didn't.
But
I didn't. I for some reason I was wrong about the time. So
Yeah.
Oh, geez, man.
Okay.
For going to bed, or what are you doing?
oh no, dinner with my wife. And,
dinner.
and,
Oh,
yeah.
my bad.
Oh no, not you guys. I
Ooh,
just was
okay,
off.
so you're not going to be available for the next couple weekends, is what you're telling me.
Doghouse.
Yeah.
No, she prefers I go do my thing.
Yeah. Okay.
That's cool.
All right.
That's awesome.
Good.
She paints, so she
Okay.
she needs her privacy to paint, right?
All right. All right.
Thank you guys.
All right, fellas.
Outstanding.
Welcome. No, yeah,
Thanks,
appreciate
guys.
it. Thanks for joining in.
Appreciate
Yep.
it. Bye bye.